Oh, yeah, boy.
I look directly on Twitter. Oh, okay. Alright. I live again.
Woo! You've been elected.
Yeah.
Yeah! Also, it's okay, because it lets me fix the magic pan, because I don't think I ever did in the last timeline.
Oh, Gesundheit.
Bum,
Me.
ba, da, da, da.
Da-da-da-da.
Alright, because
Yeah.
that version of stream's not gonna go on YouTube at all, because it was comedically short. I have to redo the recap. Woo!
Aw.
So, last time on the Wild Beyond the Witchlight, we started off with the tail end of a job interview from Mr. Witch to the rest of the party, where it shifted away from the topic of employment to the nature of their conversation, to which information about a trickster was exchanged. He seemed to deny this information, however, did encourage them that if they can solve this problem within an hour, then it would be much appreciated. In doing so, Grizz called upon a frog, a mysterious frog within the circus that would ask for a child someone without wings from the circus, so someone who did not pay, in exchange for the coolest rock in the river. To which Grizz called for a frog, to which Zebediah, out in the hiding behind some stones, ran out, grabbed the frog, and with Grizz becoming a grizzly bear, immediately knocked the frog out as the frog cried for a sister to get revenge, in which a weird shadow came out, which was immediately smited by Chat and receding back into the darkness. After this combat, Zebediah noticed a strange child with a pig mask, who seemed to recognize him, but he did not recognize her, going towards the Hall of Illusions. The rest of the gang went up to the Hall of Illusions and dealt with various temptations and very cruel comments from this girl with a pig mask, to which they all failed. They all refused her offer and proceeded to suplex her to unconscious. Now, with two bodies on them, they needed a place to keep them, so Mr. Witch and Mr. Light would be able to see that they solved the problem. They went towards backstage, and with enough begging, Zebediah convinced the stoic clown Taco to let them in, through a secret passage he had. After doing so, they tried to take care of the shadow once for all, publicly in front of the finale of the Witchlight Circus, with some theatrics and swing off the ceiling and the like. They finally were able to take care of this dastardly shadow, and Zebediah...
I hit it with a stick.
Huh?
I said I hit it with a stick.
Yeah, you hit real good with a stick. And with that, Zebediah, being the sort of face of this operation, was crowned the Witchlight Monarch, giving him the blessing to grow wings and fly for a period of time, up to 3 times before it would go away. And lastly, before we start this part of this new adventure, you guys were brought back to the Hall of Illusions, to which Mr. Witch and Mr. Light opened a mysterious portal, to which you have walked through, and you have entered a world beyond your own. You have all entered the Feywild. I will... Oh. Alright. I don't know why, but it slightly ruins the mood, because my one World 20 Windows did not go through, so I just had to log into that so I can now change music. Let's see, what's a good swampy music I have?
I can't think of what swampy music.
Yeah, I had to
Would
think
it
of
be very,
swampy music. I didn't really pick real swampy music, so
humid?
I guess I had to pick out what I have already and vibe out the most.
See, when I look at this map, I'm just thinking like King Gizzard and the Lizard Wizard.
I mean, it's the Feywild. There probably is a wizard lizard.
I'm just hearing rattlesnake, 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 rattlesnake. That's the whole song, by the way.
Understandable. Let's see. What's a? Ooh, maybe. No, that's too much. I think I'm thinking of another Danganronpa song.
Something sluggish, something grimy. Ooh, yeah, kind of like that.
Like not quite slimy, but I think this fits sort of.
So magical.
It's maybe a bit more tropical, but I feel like it sort of sets a tone. Also, I feel it's a bit loud. There we go. The song they used in Shrek? No!
Yes, Shrek song, Shrek song.
No, we're not playing All-Star the whole time. They
but-
will copyright me.
Is this what is King Gizzard and the Lizard really that obscure of a music reference?
Like, I at least knew what you were
It
talking
can't
about.
be.
Like, I don't think I've heard the music, but I know that's a thing, you know?
I think I'm in the same realm as Pan, maybe even less so. No, it's a thing.
I have
Like,
no idea,
it's a
but I
thing.
don't know anything about music.
They had a song about a robot who built himself a stomach and throw up enough to destroy a whole universe.
Well,
Whoa.
robots will do that if they make stomachs. Take note, Boingo.
Yep.
So, it's time for box text. So, you stand at the edge of a raised and broken bridge under a hazy twilt sky. That's a weird word, but that's what the book says. The bridge, which is built from pale stones that glow faintly within, towers over the surrounding landscape, but large sections of it have been crumbled away. The paths remain in place and separated by large gaps where portions have collapsed. A fog-shrouded swamp spread out below you in all directions, and up from its murk wafts its smell of rotten plants. Also rising from the swamp is the music of nature, a discordant symphony of croaking of frogs and singing birds. On the bridge itself, you do see a sort of a message written in Sylvan, so this is something that Fiverr will be able to read and translate. Oh, I have to re-copy paste it.
Yeah, okay.
It will only take me but a moment.
A moment, Ty?
Because these are things I will say, but also it's good to have a written down version so we can reference it in the future. First off, I want you to roll a perception check because there's something that's sort of scratched out on top of these sort of rules here.
It is done.
Alright, you see like a greeting and it seems sort of scratched out. I was asking just for fire because unless
Okay.
you can read Sylvan, it would just look like fancy, like it looks like Dr. Cursive to you without
That's why I can read it. I'm a doctor.
yeah, you can read it as a doctor. Yeah. It is from Danganronpa 2. Because I love Danganronpa 2, and it's great.
Zeb's just standing there trying his hardest to help out.
Yeah, so you see, like, welcoming to... And you have to squint a bit, but it's Prismere. But it seems to be whoever... Someone seems to not want you to know that. But... Underneath it, you see it still preserved 3 rules of the land. The first rule is hospitality. When a friend, an enemy, or stranger enters your home, you are expected to be gracious and accommodating to them until such a time as they prove by their words or actions undeserving of such hospitality. Rule of ownership. You must not steal from a friend, an enemy, or a stranger. To take something that belongs to you without the rightful owner's permission is a crime, an unforgivable breach of etiquette. And lastly, the rule of, I'm hoping I pronounced that right, guys do know how to pronounce this, my brain will not.
Reciprocity.
Reciprocity, thank you. Reciprocity.
Reciprocity.
Reciprocity. When a friend, an enemy, or a stranger offers you a gift, you are obliged to accept it and offer something of comparable value, be it a gift or a service in return. Such reciprocation need not happen immediately. So I put that down here, and I put that on the bridge as like a nice diegetic way for you guys to understand. These are rules that are going to be throughout the Feywild. So you are going to be traveling to different areas of the Feywild, but these will be universal rules that are expected.
Seems there's.
I like this rule of reciprocity. I have thoughts.
Kavia like presses their fingers together rhythmically.
Real quick, these are magical rules.
You don't know.
This is fairy shit. Magical rules apply. Zed just gonna pitch. This is magic, right? Can we just have an agreement that if we pick something up of someone else's in the group, that we have an agreed, like, yeah, you can do that, just in case it's like a weird curse shit?
I'd say it's safe to assume in this new land where we've never crossed into, we should be wary of things beyond understanding. But this is probably both not only a law of etiquette, but a warning.
Also, keep role-playing amongst yourselves. I realize I have to pee. So...
Understandable.
Go roll the dice.
Wonderful timing, yes.
It's a dexterity save.
Y'all ever get the feeling that God every once in a while just disappears and does something randomly?
Well, I think a lot of them do.
Like he's just
No,
going
I'm
off
really
and taking a piss?
Isn't it a little presumptuous to believe that there is an omnipresence? I mean, everybody's got to do something, right?
Yeah, we all got a role to play.
Mm-hmm.
I mean,
Now, I have a way I'm thinking of testing these rules, but I very much am in the state of mind where I have not read this. I can't read it.
Fiverr definitely would say the words aloud to y'all, so that way you could know what they were. That's a lot to read, so we'll just say I read.
Okay.
So you would read out the book, and we'd be in the middle of Bruce Campbell, Sam Raimi. This is my boomstick.
Evil Dead.
Hey guys.
Yeah.
Hey guys, I'm gonna test the rules. But Grizz is gonna realize he's doing it. Oh, you don't know how to read, chat? I can teach you.
Teach me to read?
Alright, I am back.
Oh.
It might take a while.
I can read.
Reading
I
is
can
an
read this.
extensive skill to learn. I mean, I don't know how fast of a learner are you, Chad?
This is goddamn lawyer shit right here.
Yes,
I
this
come
is a
back
level
to you
beyond that.
talking about lawyer shit.
Lawyer shit, cannot read.
Matt Murdock went to the toilet.
Happens when Matt Murdock goes to the toilet.
Mhm.
But Grizz is inadvertently testing the law of reciprocity. He has offered a service to chat, to teach chat Sylvan.
Oh, okay. I think you should probably tell them the first and most important word. That is most common amongst to many people, even here in the Prime Material.
Oh, of course. So the first the first word you must learn in Sylvan is the Sylvan word. Well, it's a broad word, but it means It's something you say when you're happy or when something good happens. That word is pog.
Oh, Pog? Pog.
Ah,
Or
yes.
Pog.
poggers, if it is exceptionally so.
It depends on the context. You know, it's like
Poggers.
We did it.
one's more
Poggers.
formal,
We
one's
did
more
it,
informal.
everyone. We enabled Ruby to say the funny poggers meme.
Oh, yeah.
Now, it's very great. You all are figuring out these rules and the like. But there is a situation upon your hands. You are in a very tall bridge. The bridge appears to be about, it's 20 feet wide, so it's pretty spacious, but it's also 100 feet above this swamp. There do seem to be mushrooms that could be used to climb down with. However, you don't know how safe that is. But it seems to be one of the only
Well-
other ways down.
Well, Grizz pops down his backpack and pulls out his 50 feet of hempen rope and says, if anyone else has more rope, we could tie it together and
Yeah,
hell
we
down.
could. Let's see. Pulls out his explorer's pack, rummaging through the edible musket. Hempen rope. Yep, here, 50 feet. Hands it over to tie it up.
So we'll need a place to tie it off to. Is there anything like that here? Like a lamppost or
Yeah,
a
something
bridge?
jutting out
I
of
mean, the whole bridge seems to be, it's pretty smooth, with the exception of, when it collapsed, or some of the more decayed parts. Probably if you want to make a holding, you'd probably have to make it yourself.
Well, I've got... do I have anything for that?
Anyone have
I
shaped
do.
stone?
Sort of
That
ribbon.
classic tool.
No, I don't think I have anything.
I can think of one way we could do this, but it would require me to use both of... We'll need to do a short rest after. But I can get us down with this rope.
Wait a second.
Yeah?
I can hold the rope.
But then how are you gonna get down?
I have featherfall.
Oh, fuck!
Oh, alright. That...
Oh, nice.
My plan was I was gonna turn into a bear and hold the rope, and then turn into like a gecko and climb down.
When do we think
Well,
has future stuff?
Wild Shape comes back on a short rest, so whereas your spells are long rest stuff, so maybe
Yeah, but I have 4 right now, so like we're
that's true.
okay.
That's true. I'll be out of if we do my plan, I'll be out of Wild
Yeah,
Shape.
you'd be burning way more resources for something very small.
But it's a short rest resource, not a long rest.
It is. That's assuming you get a short rest. You don't know.
That's
The
true.
land of unknowns.
We might run into a goddamn marijuana mascot at the bottom of
You
this.
never know.
Oh, then we get a nice, good long rest, yeah.
Long rest.
Extra long rest.
So I mean, I guess that's 2 options. One of us can hold the rope and then use a resource to get down, but
Well, if we're all kind of feeling like we're tired and that it's going to be hard to find a safe place
Well, we
in this
ju-
unknown land, we have a point of advantage here at the top of this bridge. Why not rest here, gather our bearings, take a lay of the land in the distance from up here, and when we're ready to go, we pick a plan of action and move down.
I will say.
we are ready to go.
Surface
Pan
leaves
gave
1
us a
Yeah.
long rest in the space-time distortion before
Oh.
we.
Yeah,
I
I
didn't-
thought I mentioned that in the Discord.
My bad.
It's okay.
Yeah.
You
so-
already do 2 character sheet stuff for that, or do I have to?
I don't.
Actually, I didn't really
I
expect.
don't think
have
you.
stuff.
I think you only gain stuff that you would have to
Yep.
worry about managing
Alright.
now.
So I'm good. Never mind.
Yeah.
Rewind.
the time that ever was.
Rewind.
That's
Alright.
hot.
Well, I guess Moingo, if you want to do the feather fall, then that's fine with me.
Hell yeah,
So,
let's do it. I need to do a strength, I would
say
assume.
because you're pretty strong, and these 3 people are very
And
small
we'll go one at a time.
and relatively light. You can handle it. I don't think you need to make a check for it.
Okay.
Like, if these were also big people, I'd consider it. But these are all smaller people.
I mean, they
Grizz
probably.
will volunteer to go first.
All right, I'm hold on to the rope.
All right. So, Chris, did you volunteer to go first?
Yes, Grizz will volunteer to go first.
All right. As you go down the rope, in the distant sky, you see. For you, it's a bit of a. It seems a bit more grand because you're looking up as you're trying to descend down. You spot a great balloon made of patchwork material and a little basket underneath. It is spinning out of control as though it were punctured, causing the wicker basket that hangs from it to swing. The balloon plunges out of sight, disappearing through the fog approximately a mile away.
I don't know what that is.
Yeah, no, it's just a weird balloon with a big basket in it.
Mm-hmm. There's a
But yeah, that
big
seems...
thing crashes over there.
Yeah,
Right.
you would probably see it as you're climbing down because it's how, like, the box text says, like, oh, it disappears a mile away, but you see in a mile away there's this slanted tower
Mm-hmm.
of sorts, and you see it's an unpleasant sight as it seems to crash. You don't get to see any details beyond that.
Alright. Well, Grizz is gonna go ahead and keep climbing down to the bottom of the rope for now. We'll talk
Alright.
about that when everyone gets down.
Understandable.
I gesture to chat to go next and say, I'll watch and keep make sure you're going down okay. Do you need help?
Pat does a little like bow and then grabs on to the rope and starts like just going down at a pretty, I think, well, I don't know if I'd have to roll for it, but a fast pace. Like,
I think it's fair for you to just say, like, you take 20 by just, like, taking your sweet time here. Like, you're not in a unless if you're actually in, like, a rush where it was a combat situation, you're fine.
no rush, but Chad is definitely now that we have an idea on a mission, very direct.
Right. Like, yeah, that's reasonable flavor text. Alright, so you go down, then I presume the doctor goes down as well?
Yes.
Understand.
I do like the, what's it called, when you rappel down, kind of like little tiny hops.
Repelling.
Yeah.
I see. So, when everyone else comes down, when you see everyone seems to come down, like maybe Fiverr does like a thumbs up to signify everything's good, how do you want to flavor you doing Featherfall?
Well, reading the actual description, it only works for 60 feet, and it's a 100-foot drop.
It slows you down to descend 60 feet instead of going at a speed where you would actually, like, take fall damage. Like, basically, it basically acts like as if you had a parachute. Is the best way to explain how, like, Featherfall works.
Zebediah is going to take
Well,
this
you'll only
opportunity to test out some flippy shit. So he's just gonna do some flips.
All right. You do some sick flips, and like these flips, just like at the end of it, you do like a nice like sort of star position to sort of act. It almost seems like you have like a hang glider or like you know, like the Spider-Man like little short like armpit webs that he used to have back in the day. You get that sort of effect going as you just sort of like with ease glide and tumble down.
Ooh. My original
It-
claps.
Stick the landing, just go like, way,
Wait.
When they
way.
reach the bottom, Grizz says, I saw something flying in the sky, and it crashed over there. Points.
Oh, well, that doesn't sound good. What did it look like? Was it a big bird or something?
It wasn't a bird, it was like big and round, and there was like a basket underneath it. It looked like a bunch of like skins all patched together.
Ooh. Sounds gruesome.
Skin?
Should we check it out?
Ooh.
Anyone else? I mean, I wouldn't mind. It's the first thing we've noticed since we've been here, and if it's people
Hey,
in
if we help
trouble-
them out, didn't the one rule say you get good things when you help someone out?
That's true. And I
might be
definitely would want to
dangerous,
save anyone
though.
who might be hurting. Yes, it could. Especially if it's a patchwork of skins that was flying. That doesn't sound like someone doing good things.
Let's I know. I'll get one of my friends to help us look to check it out for us. And Grizz like calls out to the forest, and a raven appears.
Actually, there is something nearby that is a bit different than a raven. You intend to get a raven, but nearby
Not so Raven.
you see, like, from the midst of the bog, there's this giant crane that comes out. That seemed to be the nearest bird around.
Oh, hello. I don't believe we've met. Grizz will nod to the bird. Can you go and fly over where that thing crashed, and see what's there, and then come back and tell us?
I don't know what a crane sounds like, so I'm just gonna presume it sounds like a normal bird. And it just like with its big wings, there's a little bit of a gust as it seems to do little cries as it flies towards that tower.
He'll be back soon.
Alright.
Different.
I will say, first off, before you move anywhere, I am going to describe some things about how this environment is, what the swamp is like as you guys touch down, because I feel like that was a bit neglected. As you guys all like start about to really get moving, sticky mud squelches between your feet. Tangled mangroves grow out of pools of rippling water, half hidden by the thick fog, and purple mushrooms clinging to rotten logs and stumps scattered throughout the marsh. Crickets that glow like fireflies chirp serenely before they're snatched out by the tongues of a hungry frog. Coming from one direction, though, as you guys are about to move on and scout ahead, you hear what sounds like several voices joined in a marching song. The singing grows louder as 6 bipedal rabbits wearing clothing emerge from the fog. 2 of them tug the reins of a giant snail, and the others carrying clubs and slings. As we're gonna go on to a map.
Oh.
Yeah. We're gonna go on to Ba-da-ba.
Very swampy.
Yeah, it's very swampy. As you see, again, 6 rabbit folk, much like Fiverr, coming in on these giant snails, and they're singing quite a merry tune that, yes, is in the book. Which I will proceed to serenade you all with.
Oh, please.
Ahem. With sticks and stones we'll break your nose, we'll beat you blind and steal your clothes, but none among us can compare to the wily, swift, and stand-up hare. Scoff that's glorious, thief notorious, his deeds are truly notorious. With a wink and a grin, he'll show you his cunning. A flash of his scarf, he'll take off running. Quick as a bolt, his long scarf trailing. Grasping, you'll end up failing. You'll point, you'll pout, you'll moan, you'll huff, you'll sneer. Thanks to Adgon Longscarf, Brigand Prince of Prismere! As these 6 rabbits are cheerfully serenading and marching along. Two of them driving these large snails, similar to what you saw in the circus, actually. You can tell very clearly, Grizz, they don't seem to be very comfortable in their reins, as they're more being like tugged along. How do you react to this procession?
Grizz reacts by pointing and saying, "Look, 6 fivers,"
Aww.
and then laughs at his joke.
65ers?
Fiver laughs at the joke too and says, "Well, I'm only the one Fiver I know. Those are other rabbit people."
Well, then we got a
I don't know
1er,
what their
2er,
names
a
are.
3er, a 6er.
5 fivers.
Their names are probably
6.
1 or 2 or 3 or 4, 6er, and
Healthy.
7er,
As you
and Fluffy.
As you say that, one in particular sort of hops up towards you all and goes like, "Actually, if you must know, my name is Jebek, and this is a robbery. If you resist, we'll be you black and blue." She pulls out like a club, and the other 5 rabbit folk pull out both clubs and slings, almost like, you know when like a cartoon like does like a quick pan over to like some books, and they all just like whip out weapons comedically. It's like that.
Fiver's like, "Oh, hey, wait! Isn't that against one of the rules? You're not supposed to take from other people."
Oh yeah, like you think you know the rules around here. Here.
I mean, you should tell me at length, extensively.
Well, the rule here is under Adgon Longscarf that you're supposed to give us a little gift. And they pull out a gourd with a golden stopper on the top of it. What we demand of you is a memory of a precious gift to us, to our dear leader.
A memory of a precious gift?
Mm-hmm. And
Well,
if
one
you do
time
that,
I had
we'll
a
leave you be. If not, we'll have to beat you black and blue.
I mean, that's awful presumptuous that you can beat us back in blue, but I digress.
You hear that, boys? They all laugh in unison. You think us, the brigands of Hither, can't beat up what? Some rabbit, a bird, a child, and a tall child?
I'm more than a tall child.
Oh, I'm sorry. A tall child and a tall child bird.
I mimic a snarl.
Now we can
Grizz
all
actually snarls.
we can all avoid both the harming of both bruises of your skin and harm and stones thrown at your emotions if you just hand it over. They do like the hand out and the gourd out to be like a hand it over. Your fond memories.
Buddy, first things first, how do you even know I have memories?
Well, if you don't, I don't know, it'll probably take something from you. Like,
So
I don't know, I like your mutton
that's the
chops.
problem. That's the problem right here. There's no trust and reciprocation of this relationship we're having right here. Did you have a good relationship with your mother?
Alright, boys, looks like they want to be beaten black and blue today! They slowly start, like, you know, like in West
See, I'm
Side
just
Story,
imagining-
where they all just, like, start coming up to you, like, menacingly.
Oh no. They're dancing aggressively at
They're
us.
dancing aggressively. They're practically
Right.
dancing aggressively at you.
Oh, if they're dancing aggressively, just because we haven't entered actual combat yet. Hold on, I can barely read where it's on the screen.
I will say, if you wanted to do anything, you will officially roll it. We will officially roll initiative.
Well, I'm not doing anything to them. I'm just doing something to the side of them because I just want to do a little dance. If they're
Alright.
dancing, I'm dancing.
Alright, you can roll a performance check to see how good you're. Oh, fuck!
Nice.
There. There you
You gotta
go.
assert your dominance in this new world. With dance.
Jebbick just goes, hold on, boys, hold on. Are you challenging my pride as a dancer right now? You can decide if you want to instead do a combat, do a dance battle.
Grizz, like, just stops, having been about ready to unleash the beast. And now this conversation is happening, and Grizz just like, maybe I don't understand what's going on.
Fiverr puts a shoulder
Go
on.
steps back.
Not a shoulder on his hand, a hand on his shoulder, and says, "Me too."
All the while, Zebediah is just doing like a magic might hip thrust.
As a, are you accepting the dance challenge?
I mean, there's 6 of them. I probably need a dance partner.
I've got good footwork, and I do like a little bunny hop back and forth, one foot in front of the other, and then back again.
Little fleet foot fancy free.
Yeah. And let's chat. Grim, do you like the dance?
We could be a dance crew.
I mean, they got their crew. You could be like in the front, and then their person's in the front, and we're in the background syncing up with you, while they're in the background syncing up with their leader. Like, yeah.
It's gonna be me.
Alright, quick.
Your left feet. I've got.
Alright. So, again,
Oh no.
this is more to you, Zebediah. I want to clarify, it's more the leader
I should have.
asking
I
you
knew
if
I
you
should
want
have
to dance
prepared
back.
enhanced ability.
Like, it's gonna be one-on-one. I'm gonna clarify that right now.
Hell yeah. Let's do a fucking dance battle.
Alright. So, because you got that nat 20, I will allow you to have your first roll of this with advantage, because you got off on a good foot.
Alright, so 1 performance roll.
Alright,
And
alright.
second performance roll. It's the
Alright,
same
you're
number.
supposed to be very modest at it. Oh, and you immediately, like, you go down in this mud, and you just, how you're dancing not only looks very beautifully, but you're making it look good in this very rough and sticky mud. Like, you know, normally, like, if you were walking around, this would, like, really slow you down, but you're not letting that slow you down inside. Jevik is
Nice.
Jevik is a bit distracted by this, by how easily you're able to dance and perform in such a difficult environment. Alright. We're gonna go for round 2. This one will be a straight roll for you. Ah!
That's sevens in
That
performance is
expertise
really
paid
doing
off.
a
That's
lot.
paying off real good. All right, so this third, because it's gonna be 3 to beat. So you could do
It's
it.
gonna be great.
This is the matchmaker right here. Oh!
Oh no, it's even now. We started like dueling. We're like
Yeah,
dancing
like-
together.
like now it's like they're sort of an even footing. Like they're warmed up now. They're getting into the beat. They're getting into the invisible beat. Gonna need another performance check. Oh, but you just demolished him. Like what? Tell me your finisher dance moves.
Despite the loamy soil that we are on, it is a full-on that standing up, spinning round breakdance thing, landing on the side like a sexy ass pose.
Ooh. And with that, this rabbit folk is just like, they're so good they demolished me on the dance floor. All right, boys, we're gonna book it out of here. We'll find someone else today. And
Right.
they'll hop on to their snails and then slither away. Congratulations, you have solved the rabbit folk situation with the power of dance.
Leave dismayed.
Solve the rabbit.
Well, I mean, that's definitely a great alternative to, like, beating us black and blue, as they said. Maybe this world's alright for these kind of rules.
But their egos now black and blue.
Take them time to heal from these emotional wounds.
Alright. So, around this time, the crane seems to fly back to you. Because it's a spell, I'm just gonna say it's numing. Oh, you're using a wild shape for it too, so yeah.
Yeah.
Actually, you know what, if you want to see through its eyes, actually, instead of it coming back to you, that may be more useful.
I can only see through its eyes up to 100 feet away.
Oh, okay.
Yeah, so once it comes back, though, I can communicate with it telepathically.
Alright, it'll take some
And,
time. It'll take some time for it to come back, just because it is a
and it can
mile
work.
away.
Oh, I figured out what a crane sounds like. It sounds like David Cross.
I don't know this person.
I was gonna say, like, cool.
That is...
I don't know who David Cross sounds like.
You know who David Cross is?
It's
How
a Kung
does
Fu
he sound like a
Panda joke.
crane?
It's a Kung Fu
Oh,
voice
I
carrying
I
Kung Fu
see, I
Panda.
see.
Ka-chow.
Yeah, you know, Kung Fu Panda, ka-chow.
Oh.
Wait. Oh, that's a little panda fighter. My bad.
Yeah, it's that.
I had the panda we got at home.
Alright.
I'm sorry. I saw the opportunity for the joke. I had to take
You
it.
had to.
I did.
Alright.
Got
So, are you just gonna wait till the crane comes back to you? Or what are you guys gonna try and do?
Grizz is planning on waiting.
Ooh,
It's only a mile. it shouldn't
The
take
10-year-old's gonna be patient?
Huh? I mean, I should probably.
He'll probably look for a new rock because he still hasn't replaced that one rock he lost.
Yeah.
Do me a perception check to find a swamp rock. Alright, you do
23.
find a pretty decent rock. It's kind of hidden in the mud, but it's like one of those like granity rocks that are that has like a little bit of a sparkle to it, even though it's not like valuable at all. It's like one you find on a playground. But you wait probably about. It takes a little while because again, this crane's going back and forth for an hour. But it does come back again within an hour or so.
I mean, it only has an hour lifespan, but it's only a mile, so that's plenty of time.
Yeah, so it's probably using the extent of it just because of the distance you're having it cover.
Yep.
And
Circus will be gone in an hour.
yeah, what do you guys do within the hour though? Like if you
We
guys
could
wait.
walk towards it, like it flies above us, so it'll see us if we walk in a straight path from the direction it went.
I suppose that's true, yeah.
That would lessen
Alright.
the
Meet it
time and
halfway there.
distance for it to come back to us.
So in that case, I'll let some things happen in the meantime. If you guys are traveling instead of staying still. First off, one thing that happens moments after that you really start walking. First off, when you walk in this like muddy swampland, it is a time to walk through. It is difficult terrain. It's muddy. It's awful. And if you all have boots, it gets everywhere. If you're a fiver and probably have rabbit feet, it's awful. It's on your feet.
The sticky, smushy through my
Yeah,
toes.
yeah. But
I like to keep my feet clean. They're very important to take care of your overall health of your
it's not
feet.
long till you notice the ground under you gets less sticky and like drying, but growing wetter and wetter as water starts rising up. The water in this place, which some people in the Discord may have wondered why I was asking about height, the water frequently goes between high and low tide within spans of minutes. When it goes to high tide, the water's depth is 5 feet. It gets 5
Uh-oh.
feet deep. And creatures do not have a swimming speed, move at half
Oh,
speed
no.
through the water. And the visibility under the water is 10 feet. But also, some of you are either just 5 feet or shorter. So as this water is raising up, how do you guys deal with this situation?
Well, Grizz's instinct would be to climb a tree if there are trees, if there is a tree to climb.
Do you want high or low?
High?
High? Alright. There does not seem to be a decent sized tree. It seems to be more like grasslands around this part.
Alright. Well, I can't, I guess I could
I
turn
mean,
into
I'm
something
right
tall.
there.
You
We
are
could
right
grab
there.
Get on my
on to
shoulders.
Zed. We can all get a piggyback ride from Zed.
I may have missed it, but how far is it level, or does it?
It is.
Is that
The
what
depth
you can
is
see?
5 feet deep.
Oh no, I mean like is within within the distance we can see.
Oh,
Is there any like elevation in the distance at all?
it's pretty flat marshland. Like,
Okay.
pretty much anything that would be like above would typically be like structures. You know, it seems to be like around here, unless if it's like seemingly man-made or very unpleasant, like maybe thorny branches or brambles. It's not really preferred places to climb up in. This place seems to get very waterlogged very often. It doesn't seem like it has a lot of space to have higher elevation. So what is the solution? Are you all gonna be on piggyback ride?
I don't think we can all, we're small, but I don't think we can reasonably all
You could
climb
advice.
on Zed, and but maybe Grizz can turn into something.
Oh, boy.
and,
Don't
thought
worry, Zeb. What I have for the intent of if you do want to carry everyone, you can, because you got pretty solid strength. And these are very small people, mostly light due to the fact it's rabbit, bird, and child. You would be able to, but if you do it at long distances, you would get in the level of exhaustion.
Yeah, I carry them.
All right.
Ain't any other solution right now.
Okay.
We could tie ourselves to a rope, and you.
I could turn into a giraffe, and we could all ride on me.
I have to now think what CR giraffe would be.
Probably.
I found a stat. I found a fan-made stat block.
Show me the
stat
fan
block,
stat
which was-
block for a giraffe, and we'll talk.
You always do that.
Oh,
There's
you know what?
another-
Let's see. Is there a size limit on my? On
Typically
knowledge
not, but I would probably say you probably shouldn't be a huge creature yet.
sheet? Fair enough. In that case, I could not become a giraffe.
If it helps at all, I think chat could tread water. It wouldn't be too
You
much,
could
right?
uncomfortably,
Okay.
because you probably have to be on your very tippy toes for an extended period of time.
Yeah, but you can like close your eyes and hold your nose and bob under the water to chill for a minute or a second or two.
Dude.
For a minute or two.
We could always
I don't know
lazy
about
river
y'all.
it.
I mean, yeah, is the current of the water going to carry
It's-
us to our
it's,
destination? We'll just, like, all chill on our backs and float where we want to go.
If you do that, you will not. I will roll a d4 to determine which direction you go. So if you want to just float on by, it will be more of a you have less control of your direction, basically.
That's probably not the best idea then, because then what if we go
Yeah,
and the
yeah,
crane's
because that's like the best thing I
where'd
can
you go?
offer you with that idea.
Yeah, we
You
would
said
just
that
mod us mouth.
You said that the tide is like coming in and out in like a span.
Yeah,
of
in the
minutes.
book it says approximately every 1d10 minutes it shifts from high to low.
Then we could just like climb on Zed and like chill until the water level goes down again.
Yeah.
Alright, so
Yeah, and
Reduces our movement.
enforced short
It makes
rest.
us move slower, but
Yeah, short rest.
unfortunately, short rest is a whole hour.
yeah, it'd be a whole hour of dealing with this shit. Alright, so that is going to be your placeholder plan of like, and in the span of minutes, when the tide rises, you're all just gonna like Scooby-Doo jump into Zebediah's arms.
I just hold them all like a bunch of squishmallows.
Aw.
And yeah, for you, Zeb, you realize sometimes this span could be like, oh, it's like for a minute, it'll be fine. Other times it's like, I'm doing this for 10 minutes. And there's nothing wrong with carrying squishmallows for 10 minutes, but it's very much a, I still have to do this. But over time, for you guys, it feels like a long time because you're treading through this continuous high tide, low tide situation. But the crane does come back to you, probably about a quarter of your way there. And it would be able to speak with you like a familiar does, right?
Yes. It is just the fine familiar spell, just quicker casting time and not
Right,
permanent.
because it uses your wild shape.
Yeah.
So, the crane mentions that, goes like, yeah, that tower, that's a weird tower, it's all tilted. There does seem to be a weird thing hanging from it. It's like this weird basket. I think I hear a voice asking for help there. Didn't really see what was asking for help, but whatever this thing was, it seemed to be like over this like very thick thorny branch. Maybe it doesn't want to fall in. It like tilts its head like a dog.
Okay. Grizz relates what the crane has said to the rest of the party.
Sounded real formal too. Sounded like a rich guy.
Mr. Crane. Wait, was his name Frazier?
You don't know.
Should I?
You didn't ask the crane's name.
Crane's probably like irked that you didn't do for
How much time has passed on my crane?
I would say you probably got like maybe a few minutes to squeeze out of, so like probably not anything big travel, but probably like 5-10 minutes.
Okay. I don't have anything else for him to do, so I give him a good berry, and I say thank you.
They take it very happily and squawk and then fly into the mist. The berry was in fact very good.
Yes.
David Cross, so majestic.
The rest of Fiverr, you're not quite sure where Grizz got that berry. He just kind of like pulled a berry out of his pocket.
I've always assumed you just pluck those from nature, and I look around and I'm like, wait a minute, there's no berries around here.
It's like a 5-year-old just having a random gummy snack in their
Yeah.
Yeah,
pocket.
they just have a candy in there.
I trust him.
You
They
don't know
seem
how
healthy
long
stuff.
that gummy's been there either.
Hmm.
But it's a
Just wait
gummy.
Just wait till you get some gummy soup.
Ooh, gummy soup.
Gummy soup.
Alright. So, while you guys are traveling around to go towards this tower, can I get one of you to roll a d8?
Oops, that's
I
not
will
what I meant
Okay, I
to
was gonna say, like, you're detecting good and evil on your way?
do. No. I was trying to collapse it.
Okay.
4.
4. Let me double check. Ooh, okay. So as you're walking through, there's one part when the tide sort of lowers down, and you get more back into the sticky, uncomfortable mud, and you see these like weird bubbles that seem to like rise up and down from the ground on the way there. If one of you want to do a nature check to find out what might be going on, you may.
How good is it? No,
I'm not good at nature, but I should probably try.
You're like, that's some weird mud.
Yeah, I only got like a 2 in nature.
I have a -1.
I only have a 2. As
Well, in that case,
I
you
look-
don't. Oh, all right, Zebediah. You sort of think back to like the circus, and when some people would like blow up balloons, it's like the Earth is doing that, but for some reason it's not popping. You know, it doesn't seem like, but it seems much like a balloon, probably very easy to pop, and you're not sure if that's a good idea to pop it.
Hey Grizz, do you have a second rock? Because I know you want to keep at least one rock.
Grizz pulls up his bag and shakes it and indicates that he has 20 rocks. You want me to throw a rock at it?
Throw a rock really hard at it.
Okay. I cast Magic Stone on one of these rocks, and then I
Alright.
throw a rock
You
at it.
do it. You don't even have to roll for it.
From,
Okay. How far away are you throwing this rock from?
pretty good distance.
What's pretty good distance?
Let me see. 60 feet.
Alright. You they're pretty far.
When,
like, I feel like with
When Grizz throws the magic rock, it flies like supernaturally straight and creates like the little shockwave effect. It's like throwing a feather ball in Legends Arceus.
I like to imagine like you guys were probably like maybe 30 to 20 feet before noticing this sort of field of like weird marsh bubbles. Then you're like, all right, I'm gonna go along. But you do it. It pops. There is a very strange, ill-looking green gas that comes out of it. It's got
God damn, the ground is farting.
Yeah, no, it does look like ground farts, and it has the sound of like cackling frogs as it emits. and you see again there's like a field of them around the area, foreseeable area. If you want to get past this without any ill effects, you will all need to make a survival check as a group.
Oh. So we each roll
Yep.
separate?
Yep, you all roll separate, and depending on how you do as a group as a whole, will determine what happens.
Sorry, y'all. I'm so sorry.
Alright. Thankfully, most of you pass. However, though, I will need you to make a quick constitution check. Or a constitution saving throw, specifically. Oh no!
No.
As you pass on by, your rabbit feet accidentally pop one. I'm gonna need you to roll a d8.
I'm gonna roll that d8 as soon as I get to my dice roller, and bam.
7. Alright. This gas has like, it's very, oh wait, a 2. Never mind. Ooh. This gas has like a weird, like, it has like a whispery sound to it as you cough it, like, and you have the effects of babble gas. Whenever the character speaks, the words come out as gibberish that only the character or other characters affected by the gas can understand. The effect does not impede the ability to cast spells that have verbal components, and this will last for the next hour.
Your barlet is it? The banana net? Turns to Grizz.
Is that Elvish? I don't know.
Turns to chat. Goodbye to Tiki Lula. Huh? And then just looks like waiting for an answer.
There was
How about
Why you sound like my old uncle? It's just like being a bottle.
head cocked to the side?
Yeah. Cocks head to the side with inquisitive look and says, Zerberta, in a matter, not up. When you come time.
Grizz comes up. Are you feeling okay?
Yeah,
Would you like a good berry?
Doc, we need a dog. You're
It's
having a
over, good
stroke.
berry. Can I offer you a good berry in these troubling times?
I mean, wait,
Of
are my
course,
laughs
Luigi,
affected by babble speech too?
I say laughing doesn't count as language, so no.
Okay, so just a little chuckle. Yeah, but and puts his hand out for the berry.
He will, Grizz will provide one, even though I know it will have no effect.
It's really the gesture it's the thought that counts.
Mm-hmm.
Yeah. No. And
So-
it's the good berry.
It's a good berry. It's real good.
Are my sounds of tasty satisfaction also babble speech?
I would say anything that is like what you would say as words would be babble speech. Anything else is optional if you would wish to be babble speech.
I'll leave those like sounds like of emotional stuff to be not babble speech. So I'll say.
All right. So
Goodbye.
as you guys go towards this slanty tower, after at this point about 30 minutes or so, just trudging through the swamp as the waters go up and down, you come across a crumbling stone tower that rises out of the swamp, leaning at such an angle that it threatens to keel over. Black brambles surround the base of the tower and cling over for its lower half. Hanging from the, I'm gonna try and pronounce this word, crenellations.
Crenellations?
Crenellations,
Yes.
that sounds like the more correct word. The crenellations on the lower side of the tower's peak, a large woven basket at the end of tangled ropes and a tether of fabric. The basket dangles 30 feet above the surface of the swamp. Not far below it, you see again a bunch of the brambles and like these black thorns just sort of encompassing the whole lower end of it. and not long after, you hear in a very you hear a very quiet, formal voice going, "Psst, you there? I need your help." Although, because he's really high up, it sounds more like, "Psst, hey, I need your help." Like, it's very faint.
Grizz Grizz waves and loudly replies, "Don't worry, we'll get you down."
They
And then Grizz turns and says, "Okay, how are we gonna get them down?"
How heavy are you, kid?
One Grizz.
How high up?
You
is
said
That-
the boy who is the size of one Grizz.
I nod and go like, yes, I fully understand. I agree. Do we have that rope?
Excuse me. You hear
yeah,
again
I mean,
my very
we
formal voice
have our
trying to
rope.
Quietly bargain, quietly plead.
Sir.
Please don't be quite so loud. There are two serpents asleep in the brambles just outside this tower. If you waken them, they might squeeze on you or worse, devour me. But how rude of me. I should introduce myself. I'm in a bit of a bind, as you can observe. I, Sir Talavir, one of the Summer Queen's loyal servants, ask that you free me from this predicament. You see, I was in the midst of a daring escape from the vile hag of toads, and when our balloon was swept by an ill wind that's plummeting us to an unfortunate location, my pilot, the Honorable Wiggle did not survive, and I've been trapped up here for a while. Please help me, so I must tell my queen of the fall of Prismere.
Sir, may I just ask you to hang on for a second?
I'm doing my best in that manner.
Meanwhile, ever since he mentioned, like, serpents, Grizz, being a 12-year-old boy, wants to see the snakes. And is trying to just look around in the brambles, trying to spot these snakes.
Do a perception check.
Alright.
While he's looking around,
Well,
Let me check snake stats to see how their passive stealth is.
words hard. While they're looking around, Fiverr wants to use Mage Hand to slowly bring the rope up to one end of the rope up to the basket.
Alright, that would just meet their DC for passive stealth. So you do see, like, when you squint a bit, two giant, they are, probably boas.
Okay.
They seem to be sleeping and
Grizz-
resting, very
Can
comfortably.
Grizz, as a trained druid and Circle of the Moon druid, can he determine from his observations if these are beasts or if they are some sort of serpent-like fae?
You may do, and I would say it's very clear that they are snakes. They are just snakes. They are beasts.
All right. Then Grizz says, "Hold on. Before we do anything, just in case we accidentally wake the snakes up, give me a moment to get into the mind of a snake, and then if they wake up, I can talk to them."
Grizz is going, hold up. So I need to focus. I'm transitioning to snake mode.
Hold up. I may
Yes.
make friends.
All right.
Cat says, "Okay, talk to them," and draws his short sword, just like anticipation.
All right.
Alright.
Grizz is gonna spend 10 minutes
preparing speech
getting
battles.
into the snake, ritually casting speak with animals over 10
Okay.
minutes.
As you are
Getting into snake mode.
Right, as you're trying to focus, get snake mode. Fiverr, you're trying to get your rope up towards the basket, correct?
Yes. To
Alright.
just to pull it up there, so that way whoever's in there can like tie it off on something secure and then safely climb down.
So it's a good thing that height-wise, you can do that, but with your mage hand, like, very simply within one turn. It is 30 feet up, where it is, and you raise the rope on high, but you notice that, when you get the rope up there, you hear sort of a little bit of a cling. Almost like there's something preventing them from just taking your rope.
Ivor just looks confused. And...
If you want to do a perception check, you may be able to see better what the situation is.
I shall peer further into the square. I don't peer so good.
Yeah, you're not quite sure. It's, again, all you can tell is there's something metallic up there? Maybe?
I mean, I could throw you up so you can get a better look.
Ivor just goes, but I've been good though.
That's not a no.
Oh no! Alright, roll me athletics to see how high up in the air you toss up Fiverr. $16. Alright, so you launch them 16 feet in the air. Fiverr, if you want to make a perception check, I will let you do it again with advantage now that you're at a higher altitude.
That was hooray. Alright, there's the first.
Alright.
There's the second.
Alright, well, good thing you had the 18. You felt a moment where there was like almost something in your eye, but you focus in and you notice. First off, what you see is in the cage, the Sir Talavir seems to be a miniature dragon of sorts. On the nice violet color. Here, why don't I see if we have a Sir Talavir icon for me to display to you?
Also, just preemptively to make sure that it's not just forgotten. That's me.
Are you catching?
Catching.
Good, because I would have asked. Where is Sir Talavir? May I see Sir Talavir? Nice. I want to see my little boy. Here he comes. Okay, the S's. There he is! There's Sir Talavir. I would like to copy him, and I would like to paste him upon the map.
The copy and the boost.
So, yeah, you see this small, like very tiny creature that looks like a small purple dragon. They've got a little mustache, fine medallion, and a tiny little sword, and they also happen to be within a cage. Which seems to be the thing preventing them from grabbing the rope. They seem to be like reaching out for it, but unable to actually get themselves out.
I'll wait till Zeb catches me.
Alright. You're captured very firmly and warmly by Zebediah's big rippling muscles.
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 But didn't get that fun. And then gives him a little back pat. Thanks.
So how do you try to convey this information while you are in gibberish zone?
At this point, Fiverr has probably suspected they don't understand him.
Mm-hmm.
And so he gets a stick and starts drawing a picture in the mud.
Alright. Roll me a dexterity check to see how well how well your drawing of Sir Talavir is. Okay, yeah, no, you get the general point across. You exaggerate some features, and some parts are a little like, oh, okay, it's that. Like when you try to point it out.
I give him a very sad face for his
But
drawing.
it's not too long till they figure like, oh, okay, weird lizard in a cage.
Weird sad lizard.
Weird sad lizard with wings and cage.
Would he be a lizard wizard?
You do not know.
Nick, how does lizard have fur? Make mustache.
That's a good question. You don't
It could
know.
be feather mustache, much like how T-Rex feathers weren't actually feathers as we know them, but more filament-like structures.
Ooh.
Yeah.
I'm happy
Or
I
it's a
learned
fake
something.
mustache that's just glued on.
You don't know. You weren't the one who saw it.
We have to find out.
Mhm.
Meanwhile, Grizz is over here just like stretching and making hissing sounds as he gets ready to snake mode.
As time passes, I feel like a good portion of the 10 minutes while you were getting the snakes over is people like, trying to get the whole like, Fiber making the snake, the drawing of Sir Talavir and everything. And you enter the snake mindset, your eyes slow, like, for a moment become serpentine before coming back to normal.
You're like Monkey
Okay.
D. Luffy, Snake Man.
Alright. If the snakes wake up, I'm ready to talk to them.
I could speak to them as long as they wake up in the next 10 minutes.
Yes. So, begin your plan to rescue the, fancy man now.
I could throw Fiber harder.
You want to try throwing
Combination
her
with my rabbit hop.
Grizz looks at you like you had 10 minutes and
20
this is the
foot
best plan
vertically?
you got.
Wait, Fiber. You could like jump out of my hand. We could do a full-on fastball special.
Hey, get him back.
Alright.
You sound like Stitch.
Classic
gonna
fictional,
need more good bears.
classic character of lore. Whoa!
Whoa, nice. Do I need a roll to add?
You can add your rabbit hop
Rabbit
feature
hop.
to add on.
How
some
many
criteria.
nat 20s have I gotten this
You got
session?
2. But I would say with
Yeah.
that, I'll you know what? I'll just say you get up. You can get up towards the basket and do something real quick, without having to expend any other resource. You just like, boom, launch up this rabbit, 30 feet up in the air.
Hand ready to grab the basket.
Dunk.
Alright, you can
Done.
grab the cage. In
Grab the cage,
basket.
okay.
Yeah.
Sweet,
No, and
I'm
that-
up in there.
I
safely.
would say Talavir is pretty light. I know Mage Hand is only supposed to carry 5 pounds, but I will totally allow you to just like yoink, cause like to at least like move the cage so then you can hold it. Like I think that's super fair.
Okay, cool.
And you start plummeting down. And because of the nat 20, I'm not even gonna bother having Zebediah roll a catch check, because you do it with a nat 20. You do it perfectly. It is a graceful moment of going 30 feet in the up there, yoinking this cage with an invisible hand, getting it into your gripping on to this cage, and then boom, landing very comfortably in Zebediah's arms once again. With the power of friendship.
The power of friendship and X-Men references.
Sir Talavir looks around like, oh dear. That was quite a shock. I don't think I had quite a thrill like that since I fell off an air balloon. Oh, I guess that wasn't so long ago now I think about it.
Exciting day, eh?
It's been quite a day indeed. Who are you fine gentlemen, by the way? I don't I believe I don't know if you could hear me from such a height, but my name is Sir Talavir, one of the Summer Queen's loyal servants. And who may you be?
Piper
Well,
bows and says, "Is your mom good and different?"
Well, how do we spell Hipska? Hoopsida.
Grizz speaks and says, his name is Fiver, but he's talking weird ever since he stepped on one of those bubbles.
Oh, understandable. Yes.
And I'm his dog, Grizz.
Gone.
And
Peculiar. You
I'll
don't
let
even
the
have dog
others-
ears. Hello.
I could, but it's a lot of work.
I understand.
Not enough simps.
So Talavir nods as if he understands the blight of the complications of dog ears. And how about...
And Grizz lets the others introduce themselves since they are not afflicted with babble.
I look over at Chet.
Ready?
Like, not even taking a moment to, like, let it... Oh, wait a second. They're not here. Fuck. I'm being rude.
I literally
am
hit
the asshole.
As soon as you were like, go ahead, chat. Bird is ready.
Rumi in real life, because like the camera zooms in, Harry goes, "Oh no!"
I'm so sorry.
It's okay. I sprinted. I made it. I have Peerless Athlete now.
I wasn't thinking.
Alright, well I guess Zebediah encouraged you to introduce yourself.
Oh, that I thought I was doubling that as both I'm back and the way that I introduce myself.
Oh, okay, so you're gonna be known as back to Sir Talavir. Wonderful.
Howdy. I'm Zebediah. We're doing a thing.
And what would, if I may inquire, what is this thing?
We're going on a quest for our bosses.
Oh, I see. We are both on our quests for our own respective bosses, as it were. Would you mind us getting further away from the serpents? I know if we talk too loud for too long, they may attempt to come out and at least gobble me up. I could probably gobble up some of you.
I mean, sure. That's...
So yes, let's get a little distance. So I feel like you guys like walk a reasonable distance, like not too far away. And firstly, thank you all for saving me up from the basket. I know right now I'm still in the predicament of being caged. However, I would love to tell you about my mission, if it may be of help to you.
Oh, wait a second. Hold on. Real quick.
Yes?
Lock-picking with sleight of hand.
You may try. No. Yeah, you try to get, like, maybe a hairpin or something, and, like, the moment you go in, it's sort of, like, it just snaps.
Piper sees what Zeb's doing and just like gently pushes him to the side, cracks his like does the finger cracky with both hand things and pulls out his thieves tools.
I
try to-
don't know if you want to pursue that. I know these locks can be quite magical here. If anything, I know there is. I have heard tales of a goblin good distance away. He like points towards.
Sorry,
like, a
I was
ward.
muted. Sorry, I was muted. Grizz said, what if I just hit it really hard?
I would prefer you to not hit it really hard, but then I would be hit really hard.
But I
That
can
is
break
a
the-
humble request from me, sir, the court.
Perhaps I
Fiverr-
misunderstood. He was like locked up, right?
Yes, he is in a
Okay.
cage. He is like in a little birdie cage.
Right.
Fiverr
I'm not
thinks-
saying to hit you, just hit the lock.
Oh, I do. I wish it was that simple. But I know the hags of sort that rule these lands. They're very careful about how they entrap the people they intend to pick up and snatch. I know probably the best place to go to if you want to find someone with perhaps the appropriate key would be towards that hill, and he points over to the largest thing, or at least the nearest large body out, which is this mountain, which seems to be this big sort of hill with a keyhole that seems to be in the center of it. I have heard tales of a young goblin that goes by the name, I believe it is Jingle Jangle. I know they are quite the locksmith and said to have a key
John
for
Jacob
everything.
Jingleheimer?
Did you just say John Jacob Jingleheimer Schmidt?
No, I said Jingle Jangle.
Are you sure?
I'm pretty sure.
Fiverr would like to do an insight check. Because
Come
now
on.
he's
Jingle Jangle Schmidt.
You
Jingle
might
Jangle
like to see
Schmidt.
if his real name is Jingleheimer Schmidt, and that is your name too.
well, while that is funny, Fiverr was just thinking, why is he in a cage?
Good question.
Is he telling us the truth? Is he a baddie? that was
Oh,
in
we're the
prison?
fatties.
Yeah.
Meanwhile,
That's the skull.
while Fiverr is doing that, Grizz is gonna walk up and he's gonna ask the guy in the cage, "Are you hungry?"
I mean, I would much appreciate if you do have something to give.
Grizz will offer him a good berry.
People accept the good.
Alright.
I will say with
Hey, welcome to Goodberry, home of the Goodberry.
Yeah,
May I take your order?
He happily he seems very honest. He very much seems, although he may seem a bit posh about his demeanor, he very much is very good intentioned and seems to be speaking truthfully. There doesn't seem to be any hidden agendas on his end.
Fiverr relaxes his body, his muscles, and seems at ease now that this is someone we're helping genuinely.
Let's see, for a good berry like this, my boy, what is your favorite color?
One moment, let me think. I think that his favorite color would have to say something that doesn't exist in nature, because it would be something you would have first seen, like at the festival, or like when he was first getting into human society, and he would be amazed because he's never seen it before. So probably, we'll say. Help me out, guys.
I mean, purple, I imagine, is not
Purple's
a
a good
common
one,
color.
yeah.
out
Yeah, I was
there.
thinking
Actually,
like
purple's more
indigo.
common than blue.
Is it?
Well,
I'm,
blue is
Well,
water.
but the sky is
In the
blue,
sky,
so it's like
yeah.
he sees that every day.
Well, Fiverr's eyes.
Cadmium
He
blue?
doesn't see things
Fiverr's
that are
eyes
blue,
are
just the
purple.
sky. All right,
That's not
and then
highest
he
towards
will say,
magenta.
Yeah, yeah.
Red in that case?
he will say purple.
Purple. Oh, wise choice. I noticed. He like leans into you as if it's like a big secret, and goes like, "It's one of my favorite colors as well." Do you have something, something you would like to become purple?
He looks into his inventory, and he pulls out his pan flutes.
Interesting.
Can
Would
you
you
color
mind?
these?
He like tries to peek his head out a little bit to get closer to the pipes.
All right.
And almost like a blowtorch, he starts like giving out this like actually more comparably instead of a blowtorch, it's more like spray paint as like he breathes out this like purple mist that seems to change the color of your brown wooden panpipes into a very like lovely velvet violet. Not velvet, that's a red. A lovely violet.
Cool.
Fiverr just says, seemingly in amazement of how
Thank you.
it is.
But yes, if it may help you, I could tell you more about how I may have gotten into this predicament. After all, I don't imagine. Well, most of you are probably not from around here, I'd imagine.
Well, I mean, we got a hike, so you can always tell a story on the way.
Of course.
Long story.
Would you mind strapping if I strap you onto my back, since I have a big back?
I would not at all, as long as I am not, say, suffocated within a bag.
Let's tie the cage to my back. It's a backpack now.
Alright. So, as you proceed to travel, Sir Talavir explains the situation a bit. You see, this land used to be known as Prismere. Many people here still call it Prismere, but it's not quite the same place anymore. Watch out for the water there. He says as the water level starts rising up. Which I presume you do the strategy of pick up the smaller ones.
Yeah, but now we also have a shelf to put some of them on.
Yes, no. A while ago, it seems that these hags of sorts have taken over this land and have split it upon 3 parts. This one here seems to be a part of what they have dubbed Hither. This part of the land is controlled by a hag who calls herself. He like looks around carefully as if no one else is watching. Pavlona Blightstraw. And as he says that, a chorus of like frogs like screech and the area grows quiet.
Yeah.
He like looks around and goes like, alright, that's
Can we
better.
get that name in chat so that I can spell it
Yes.
properly?
That is understandable.
I was muted. Bravlona Bright Straw.
Light straw, yeah.
Light Straw. That one. Bravlona
Oh,
Light
light-
Straw. It is now in chat.
It is
Light straw.
light
Mhm.
straw. Yep.
That must suck to drink Dr. Pepper with.
Yeah, no, it just rots as you drink it. Yeah.
It just turns into a rotten potato. It's weird.
Yeah, what Dr. Pepper's made out of potatoes, not peppers.
Dr. Pepper, barbecue sauce of soda.
Yes. But yes, no, she is a dastardly hag. Many people call her the hag of frogs and toads due to her own appearance being that of a horrible woman taking upon the eyes and skin of a frog. I've even heard tales of her producing smaller versions of herself that she would send scouting around and doing her deeds. I wouldn't be surprised if one of those frogs that screeched right now were one of them. Do you know that out of here, I do know she resides in a town known as Downfall. It's in the middle of some court of bollywogs who believe themselves to have a society, but I believe it's more of like a fun play for her to observe. I I will say, Piper, as he describes these small frog creatures, it does sound like a lot like what you encountered out in the circus.
I start drawing.
Oh, that frog
on-
wasn't that scary. Never mind. I just slapped that frog around. That was no problem.
Do you
Piper
say that
thinks-
out loud, or is that just you after hearing me describe it?
I think Grizz will just ask. We ran into a frog before. It was kind of briefly describe a frog. He wasn't nothing.
His eyes widened. Really? Did you encounter it here in the swamps?
Now
No,
we
it was back at the circus.
yeah.
The circus?
Mm-hmm.
That's peculiar. I do not know that, unless if say they were spying around in their own lands. I do know she is a part of a coven, so she would have sisters she would like to sabotage, mayhaps, but
Wait, sis. Question:
yes.
is there a hag made of like rotting person?
Rotting person. I do not recall rotting person.
Shadow person.
Pulled pork?
Shadowy sounds right. I know there seems to be, from what I've heard. I've only heard tales. I've only really traveled towards here to at least give word to the Queen of the Summer Court of what is going on. But from what I've been told, it appears the one there's a bit more shadowy. There is a hag, I believe, more towards the eastern side. He points over towards this general direction, around towards that side of the mist. That is said to almost be like a walking shadow theater, having sort of like shadow puppets that would tell the future of sorts.
Look at the party and go like, y'all think what I'm thinking?
Oh, am I just thinking wrong and thinking that is east instead of west?
Just wanted to clarify because I know not all maps are oriented as north as top, but typically maps.
Yeah, because it says north being top.
So that would be west.
Okay, it would be west. In the west, actually.
It's funny I say that because Fiverr doesn't know directions.
Okay.
This is out of character. Not
Okay.
Fiverr. Fiverr would be like, okay, that's
All right, that sounds right.
I would just
Only
get
in
lost
that
like Zorro in One Piece. You just say, go down the hall, and they'll take 3 lefts.
But that is all I know of anything of shadows. Are you telling me you've seen various creatures that may be working amongst this coven?
Yep. So
That-
big.
So, okay. Is that
Pulled pork.
perhaps
Deadly.
pulled pork? Is this perhaps a creature you have seen? Some sort of boar, like fiend
Happen.
of sorts?
Chad,
It's very-
Chad is nodding vigorously.
It's a very high possibility that there may be some correlation to some beings we fought and the beings that might be giving y'all plight. It's a working theory. I have no way to prove it's true or not, so be warned.
Alright, very well. But yes, I believe I don't know them having anything to do with boars, but I do know the remainder witch, there's a witch that is actually towards the west, here supposedly, and all that I know from her is that she seems to be almost like a living doll of sorts who rides upon a rocking horse.
Okay, that doll thing sounds Vaguely
This is intriguing.
familiar.
Does it?
Ladu.
That can correlate.
Well, I don't know if she has a thing for summoning different animalistic fiends in that case. But who knows? Again, I am most familiar with the one of this land. For you see, they often seem to have a major influence amongst the land. After all, a hag of frogs and toads is a land that has become swampy and overrun by mud and water. I can only imagine what kind of escapes they have mutated the land in their own respective realms. But yeah, so as you guys are conversing, let me check how many miles away this is from the tower to know how many encounters I have. First off, I gotta do how much is a mile, because they show it.
This is just kind of like a out of like our meat space kind of question. Are these little tubes that are all around the map? Are they Mario pipes?
You do see some as you sort of travel around. They seem to be more like wells.
Okay. Because my first thing was like, is that a Mario pipe or is that a teleport? Is that a warp?
I had the same thought, Morgo, when we first saw this map. I was like, is this the fast travel system?
We gotta stand on them and then do
We
a
gotta
crouch.
get the.
And then we'll go
Yeah, to find out
gotta
which
get
one
the
leads
special
to,
key.
to find which one leads to Revlona herself.
Does
Gotta find the
anyone just
golden
beat
well.
Maybe it works on Banjo-Kazooie rules. You have to find each one and then
you can go through all
activate
of
it,
them?
and then you can go back to it later.
Maybe.
Maybe.
Alright, so I'm gonna ask for, as we travel on to the next location, towards that hilltop, I am gonna ask someone to roll a d8 again.
Nobody volunteered, so I'd do it. Oh wait, chat already.
I just
so we
did it.
got one from chat. Alright, I'll keep that 3 in mind. Because we are traveling a bit of a distance, we're going to be rolling a few times. Alright, 2. Alright, with 2, you're going to answer. We're going to answer what about those wells?
Well.
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 Or well.
Wells.
Wells.
Uh,
H.G. Wells himself.
Have you ever thought about wells?
Well.
have you ever thought about wells? You're kind of swell.
Oh wait, no. I'm getting
What the hell are you talking?
I'll just move you guys. Up, up. I'll let you guys move you towards this well, because this encounter has to do with a well.
Alright.
So,
Okay.
here, why don't I change the music a bit just for brevity? Because we've been playing this song for a hot minute.
Yeah, we need a more well song.
Oh, well, what?
Yeah,
Yeah,
we
let's
have
just
an
look
idea.
up well music. What's like good well music?
Da-na-na-na-na-na.
Something-
Boom,
Da-na-na-na-na-na.
boom.
I mean, depending.
Da-na-na-na-na-na.
I was actually going to suggest a Shadow Temple because it's at the bottom of a well,
Hmm.
but I hope it isn't going to be Shadow Temple.
No,
appropriate.
I don't think it's quite Shadow Temple-esque.
Something echoey and mysterious.
Let's see.
Dun, 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 dun.
3, 2, 1, let's go.
Like legit, that what you were doing sounded like the hi-hat for like Tank.
Do I have Tank on here? I should.
I
Oh,
will.
not on
I
this
will
computer.
thank you
I
for
have
that.
to log into Roll20 another one because I hear Roll20 doesn't do it based on like the overall system. Here I will. So, you all hear the sound of rushing water in the distance. Now, normally you would assume this to be a part of what would raise the water, but you actually see what causes the water to rise and fall. You see, as you guys sort of are maybe perhaps curious about how maybe this world works, you notice that there is a well that is about 10 feet tall and 5 feet wide. And a steady geyser has just started bursting out of this well that reaches about 30 feet up in the air. What is everyone's passive perception?
16.
16?
Mm-hmm.
12.
12?
Where would I find that? I'm looking.
What's your proficient? What's
Plus
your
10 plus.
Passive wisdom is 12.
Alright. And Fiverr?
14.
14. By the way, as you find this well, your speech is starting to clear up again.
Now you're just slurring your words like you're drunk.
Alright, so in that case, Fiverr and Grizz. Notice, I'm gonna roll. Can someone roll me a d4?
I shall roll the d4.
You shall roll the d4.
It's a pretty good roll. I don't know. Probably.
I mean, it's one of it's one of a quarter.
Mm-hmm.
Yeah.
Alright, so we got 3, so I'm gonna roll this thing 3 times. Alright.
Just keep rolling, what? Keep rolling, what?
Yeah.
I know y'all be loving this shit right here. LIMP biscuit.
Alright,
You don't stop.
I'm
I
very-
want to limp all night.
That's right, welcome
And
to karaoke
he-
stream where Boingo will sing, that's right, Limp Bizkit for several hours.
Buddy,
As we go
buddy,
on.
I'm
to
from
hot dog flavor
Florida. That's like part of our public education. We learn the biscuit.
I'm so sorry. Alright, so...
I'm so jealous.
I'm sorry that you listened to Flaccid Pancake. So, Fiverr and Grizz, you notice 3 objects that seem to be up in the well, and I will read them because it is on a trinket table. You see what seems to be a blue apple, a
A blapple.
a sort of mouse toy, and a what looks like a tiny jacket made out of fur that seems to be being pushed up by this geyser. So it seems to be kept high on top of it, just sort of bobbing on it.
Wow. Fiverr just says he still thinks he's got babble speech. They can't understand her. Words hard. Understand him. And he says, "Well, I don't want to go bobbing for those apples."
You are.
Huh?
But the blapple.
I've never seen a blue apple before. It says
To get
pointing
the
up
blue
at the
apple?
blue apple. I do want to get the blue apple, but
Why does Blue Apple
Wow.
sound like an alternative band from the 90s?
Oh, thank goodness that's what you said.
I know. I was thinking worst case scenario too.
yeah.
I'm not that much of an asshole.
I know you're not, but we all have the trauma. Like, I didn't even see what the thing we're referencing was, but I had the fear of if I'd stumble into it.
Oh, you didn't have
Oh, you sweet
asshole
summer
friends who
child.
pulled that on their phone in the middle of high school and just shoved it in your face?
No, because when I heard about it, it was I was in elementary school, and it was like a thing. Like I heard other people had seen. I'm like, what the fuck is it? Thankfully, I did not open that Pandora's box.
Hey, Fiverr, you think you can, like, grab those things with your mage hand?
Fiverr thinks and goes, yeah, that seems pretty... Hey, wait, you can understand me? Can...
Yeah?
Oh, thank
Yeah,
goodness.
are you ready to talk normal again?
I don't know what happened. I mean, some gaseous reaction. I mean, chemistry, right? That was
Zeb's off in the distance going, "You got fucking high."
Sadly, without the euphoria effect.
Trust me,
I
as a
haven't
man
seen
who
that
is-
show on HBO Max.
Sir Talavir behind you goes like, "Dear, I've seen many people under the effects of euphoria, and that was quite not it. If anything, I'd say it would be closer to mania. Not to be an insult, just a matter of lifestyles I've seen."
Of course, of course. But yes, I could use my mage hand, grab them up.
All right, so which one would you grab? Because it is perfectly in range of Mage Hand.
Well, which one do y'all think we should grab?
Because again, as a writer, we have a blue
Let's see.
apple, a mouse toy,
Right.
and what looks like a little fur jacket. Like very tiny, like probably the size of a fairy could wear.
Well, I don't think the jacket
Well-
would fit any of us.
No.
I see no need for a mouse toy unless, I don't know, like Grizz, you want something to play with?
What?
I mean, if we run into a cat.
Alright,
What if you
yeah.
got a really big cat?
What if we just find like
I
a
could get a
really
cat,
big
but-
fluffy cat? What if he's
Well,
orange?
let's start with the apple, and then, I mean, if it doesn't go away, then we can grab more. But I mean,
Yeah, that's true. I mean,
I assume
they're not
I assume
custom-
fairyland shenanigans. But let's start with the blue apple because I think that's the most interesting one.
Agreed, and maybe, you know, I look at it and I know I can figure out the biology of it, and I'm a doctor.
I am a trained arcanist. Maybe I can figure something out.
Arcanist.
I kind of
You're
Yes.
a trained appleist.
I'm not a trained wordist.
Fiverr.
You're not
This is
trained in the arts
Except-
of Wordle?
Except in the fact that Grizz speaks 4 languages.
Hey, that doesn't mean he speaks
Well-
them all well.
If you count bear.
I mean, bear's a very important language. I don't know what the fuck you're talking
It
about.
is. I mean, probably
That just
the third-
reminds me of like
probably
the
good
final.
for the
Hmm?
fourth. Go ahead.
That reminds me of the Final Fantasy thing of the one dude speaking Beaver.
Oh?
Oh?
Yeah, it's in like Final Fantasy 4.
Uh-huh.
I
Interesting.
never played before.
I don't.
Well, to move things along, since we don't have beaver folk here, so you grab the apple with a mage hand, and once you get it down towards the rest of you, Fiverr, you feel like a little, like around the nape of your neck, sort of like a small static shock. What do you do after getting a little jolt like that?
Is this a
Kind of
sound
does
app?
like a little like freeze moment, like whoa, whoa, whoa. Did y'all feel that?
After that, you hear a little tiny ahem. It seems to be coming from behind you.
Fiverr turns to see the ahem.
From seemingly out of nowhere comes out almost like a spark, this faint white orb with little wings. It looks like a pale Navi from Legend of Zelda. And it just goes, "Oh, you dishonorable thief! I can't believe you took my precious little apple. I insist you give it back."
Fiverr puts his hands out and says, I apologize. I didn't realize this belonged to anyone. You know, like, I was just bringing it down to observe it, and you know what? Maybe it was out of reach. Here. And he goes to hand the apple.
Thank you. They very much tried to get the apple. It's pretty big for them, but it's grasped kind of like how a bird can grasp something that's bigger, like they get it with both hands. And they just go like,
That's how birds have hands.
you know how birds have hands, says chat. And they seem to be in a much better tone now seeing that you aren't taking their things. And they go like, well, thank you. I know there have been real rascals around lately who've been taking things that don't belong to them, and nothing bad has really happened to them, so it's real good seeing that some people still have manners.
Quite. Yes, I never want to take anything that belongs to someone else, you know, unless they deserve it. He like whispers under their breath.
They sort of perk the little fairy wings perk up a bit. In what way do you think they deserve? Who do you think would deserve it?
You know, someone who stole from another. You would want to steal it back, right? I mean, not even stealing at that point. You're just reclaiming.
You sort of see it bob up and down like it's nodding eagerly. Indeed. Do you know who ever since things got all swampy, it seems like that's when people started stealing stuff. Are you gonna help stop it?
Well, of course. I mean,
That's the bakery idea.
we want to make the land safe for all.
Do you promise to stop them?
To the best of my ability.
Well then, you see a little pinky come out.
Pinky, a little pinky. I just imagine a human pinky extending out of the fairy's body.
Yes. Large enough to grasp.
Yeah.
Alright. With this small little pinky swear, you will get a small magic boon. For the next 24 hours, you will have a D4 you can use for any roll.
Give me a second to write this down.
Yeah, so you can use this D4 for an ability check, attack roll, or saving throw, because you have promised to take down the hags, and you seem pretty sincere about it.
Trying to think where I should write this. Probably not features of trade, but like in my bio under
Maybe
allies
in
and
inventory, because
organizations.
this is like a one-time like D4 for like a day.
Okay, so I'll add here pinky swear as the item inventory thing. And then in parentheses 1d4. What was the addition of that 1d4 to? Anything?
It could be for an ability check, attack roll, or saving throw. So pretty much any roll.
So 1d4 plus any roll.
Also, I love seeing the Dogify rule. Remember this, because in the chat in our Discord, KB points out, Fiverr says it's okay to steal from people who stole things as part of their ideals.
Yes. Good.
Thievery is okay if they're
Grizz
thieves.
will,
Unless
Grizz will remember this.
they're thieves of someone who was thieving something. So like, if someone steals something back from someone who stole something, you shouldn't steal from that person. Because then you would be the new gotta sit down with Grizz and explain the nuances.
There is no nuance, only black and white, only cool or not cool.
It's the Sly Cooper rule. You don't steal from people. You steal from criminals.
Yeah.
Stealing is cool, but paladin code.
What if your paladin code insisted on stealing? You just have to be some sort of lawful.
That's
doesn't
what
mean
I'm
you have to be lawful
playing.
Paladin of the God of Thieves.
good. Honestly, I think it'd be pretty rad if you were a paladin to Hermes. Like, just in general.
Well, You could always be like a paladin to like Odin, who is the ultimate asshole.
Yeah, he is a trickster.
Yeah.
Mm-hmm.
But.
How's the thing for ravens?
Mm-hmm. All right. So, you guys.
I'll
move
speak
on.
of ravens nevermore.
Mm-hmm. All right. No, I'm curious. How do you explain the nuances of reclamation justice to Grizz? I'm curious.
Sit down.
I want you to roleplay this real quick.
Well, you see Grizz, and he like sits down cross-legged.
Fiverr now has to explain decolonialization.
Good. This is good knowledge to give to the youth.
So when they say Christopher Columbus discovered America, he didn't discover.
Yeah,
He discovered jack and shit.
a lot of bad.
He was trying to find India.
Yeah. Well, you see Grizz.
Grizz has no concept for any of these things.
I like try to think of a way to explain it in terms he would know. I say, Grizz, if someone stole your favorite rock, you'd want to get it back, right?
Yes. Grizz tightens his grip on his stick.
And if someone that stole your rock went around saying to all his friends, look at this rock I found, this is my rock, that everyone around hearing that would think that you stealing back your rock would make you the criminal. You would be the thief in their eyes. But you know in your heart that is what is true is that you are reclaiming, you are taking back what is yours. That makes it okay to steal, and he does like big air quotes.
To
Finger
steal?
Yeah. The rock, because
This whole conversation's reminding me of this old comic.
The fucking bike comic? It's gonna make someone else happy.
Well, that makes sense. Yes. It's okay for me to take It's okay for me to take it because it isn't theirs.
Exactly. And that's what reclamation is. It's taking back what is yours when others would make you feel to be the one in the wrong. Never let them make you feel that way. Always let truth be what is most important. Don't let anyone
I grok
keep you
this.
down.
Grizz says, not actually rocking it at all. But Grizz nods and acts as if he understands.
Can I do an insight check on Grizz?
Sure.
Know if he knows.
Just DC 10. He's not actually deceiving. He's just.
Alright.
Alright, you think that Grizz has the general idea, but is a bit confused. But it was you have made an attempt.
So knowing that he's probably not the cool,
It will
not the
require
cool
further
picture,
reinforcement, but
Yeah.
you think that it's yeah.
it's a good start. And Fiverr just adds, knowing that Grizz doesn't get the full picture, but is getting there. It says, if ever you are in doubt, and I'm there, I'll be there for you, and you can ask.
Alright, so now that we've gotten ethics of a lesson of ethics. Let's see.
We can just sum up, fuck Christopher Columbus.
Agreed.
Yes.
Alright, so as you're walking further into the swamp, right as the tides are about to rise, you see a very peculiar thing for many of you. and there seems to be this 3-story building walking around with a lot of fucking feet to allow it to move around.
Okay, this is an important question. Are
Yeah.
they chicken feet?
No, they seem to be human feet.
Okay. Alright, that's much less terrifying.
It's much less terrifying. Well, I guess it's
Still
not
pretty
like 2 feet, but it
terrifying.
is like hundreds of feet walking around like a Monty Python cartoon.
Okay, that's pretty weird. But
It's
still,
weird more than it is.
Still,
like...
it's better than, it's not Baba Yaga herself. So
No,
I'll
no.
take
Yeah. Fiverr
Um,
just says aloud, "You all see the feet, right?"
You all do in fact see the.
Yeah, is that weird?
I think it's weird. I think it's pretty weird.
Like Sir Talavir like pops out a little bit like from Zemdai's back. What are we talking for feet for?
Grizz just
Oh
points.
no, I just hope we don't face defeat.
Or defeat our face. That would be bad too.
Oh, you have such good humor. He like peeks over, seeing this large building, goes like, "Oh my, that seems to be the end of the road inn. Why, I've heard tales of this inn traveling all throughout Prismere when it wasn't split apart. Should be a good place for you all to rest. After all, I don't imagine you all want to travel through the muck and rain."
Fiverr's just been constantly using prestidigitation to
To
clean
just
everyone
clean
up.
off their feet.
Yeah,
Aww.
you know, health is important.
Health is so important.
I'm a doctor.
All right. So would you like to walk up to this supposed end of the road inn?
Tentatively,
Mhm.
yes.
Sure.
All right. As you guys seem to walk towards it, the feet sort of lower down for a moment into the water as the door sort of meets the ground and opens to welcome you in.
We don't have a boat, do we?
I don't think. No, I don't have a boat in my bag.
All right,
No boat.
all right. Get on my back. I'm swimming.
No, I'm telling you, it go like as you approach it, it lowers itself to you.
Yeah, but you said it lower. It was in the water.
Yeah, but the water is also not that deep. It's 5 foot deep. So basically, it's 5 feet up the ground, lowers itself.
Within our range of walking up.
Yes.
Alright.
You probably do have to like scummage up a little bit because it's not under the water. So that
Alright.
there isn't like a bunch of water flowing in, but it's basically like, alright, you can come in.
I'll walk in.
Alright.
Fiverr, you should probably prestidigitate us all clean so that we don't track mud on their floors.
Already on
I'm a
there.
Or at
dirty
least Grizz, because Grizz will definitely track mud on their floors.
Fiverr's just taking up the rear of the march order to like clean up the footprints of mud and making sure everyone's perfectly clean before they walk through the door.
Aww.
Team Dad.
I'm the best dad. I'm
Yeah,
the dad
as-
everyone needs.
As our father rabbit cleans up their little children and acquaintances, and you all enter into the end of the road inn. And it's a very cozy looking tavern. It's very much like what you imagine when you think in your head like of a tavern like that's from here. I'm gonna change the music to nice calm tavern music.
Yeah.
There's my tavern music. You walk in and it's nice and warm. It's very comforting compared to the nice, very damp cold that would go through your bones. It looks like what you imagine a tavern looks like. Whenever you would probably think of like, I would like to go to a tavern.
Yeah.
Like, it says so in the book, but does not provide you a map for it. It literally gives you like, use the generic map for use a generic tavern map from the Dungeon Master Guide, so it very much is like the tavern.
Gosh, it's like we're right back home.
It's like we're right back at tavern.
It's like we haven't just traversed
Mhm.
an entire fairyland.
They know
That's
their
right.
audience, their
Mhm.
clientele.
But yeah, as you walk in, there's like a bunch of nice little fireflies that seem to welcome you in, and you sort of catch the smell of a nice warm meal, like a nice hearty stew, maybe some nice pot, like something sweet, like maybe a pie or two being baked as well. Doesn't seem like there's that many patrons in right now, but you see let's see, does this describe their age? Yeah, a nice older woman, seemingly tending the bar, and there's like a nice little like wood oven, as she seems to be baking, and she notices that company comes in, and goes like, "Ah, welcome in. How are you all doing today?"
Pretty okay considering the circumstances. Thanks for the hospitality.
Oh, no problem. That's what the end of the road is for. Allow me to introduce myself. She sort of adjusts like her sort of longer grayed hair, sort of ties it up into a nice little ponytail. She seems to be human, probably getting up in the years, like probably around her 70s or so. But she looks like she's keeping up, you know. Age isn't getting her down. She's still moving around. Don't hear any bone joints pop or anything when she moves. At least you haven't yet. And she goes, "Well, it's nice to meet you all. You can call me, you can call me Sue."
Me too, Sue. I'm Fiverr.
Oh, well, it's nice to meet you.
Likewise.
Zebediah offers a hand to shake it.
She blushes seeing this nice handsome man like, "Oh, how do you do?" Oh, and what you got there on your back, my good sir?
We got a fellow. I turn around.
Hello there. I am Sir Taliver, one of the knights of Her Majesty of the Summer Court. You didn't tell me we had a royal. Well, I think he gets a special treat. She gets out like a little cherry to give to him. Similar to how Grizz gave the good berry. Grizz, actually, as you see it does look very similar to a good berry, but with a stem.
But if it has a stem, is it as good as a
He's gonna
berry?
get fat eating this many good berries.
Oh, the little dragon could have two good berries as a treat.
The dragon can have a little salami as a treat.
As a treat. So, would you like anything? I can whip you up something. I'm in the middle of cooking up some nice stew. I've got rooms if you all want to rest somewhere.
Gris will like
Snacks?
pop up to the counter. Meat?
Like hop on top of, or
Like I imagine he's
Oh,
less
'cause on
than
the
5
boots.
feet tall. So he,
I'm
like,
sorry, but I think Wild
like-
Child, I always assume when you say something that's like maybe colloquial that you mean it literally. So
Right.
just
Well,
like-
Right, so I think he like walks up to the side of the bar and like pulls up so that his head's above the bar, and just says, meat?
Oh, we got plenty of meat. What? Tell me, what kind of meat are you a fan of?
Grizz is just gonna look past her and see if there's anything like visible.
There looks like a lot of frog legs you can see. Some I see sort of a nicer looking ham nearby. Some maybe see maybe some like jerkies and the like. Like the ham seems like the fanciest thing there.
Yeah, I think Grizz sees that ham and he points at that. that.
Ooh. I like to use the ham to make it into little, for little pies. Would you want like a little meat pie, or do you just want the ham as is?
He looks to Fiverr and then looks back and says, meat pie, please.
Alright, that will just take a little bit, dear. But she cuts you like a little slice of ham while you wait, dear.
Ivor finally, after doing many bathroom dance movements, says, "Pardon me, but where are the facilities? I've
Oh,
been
yes,
holding
no,
this
it's
in
just-
quite long."
Yes, no, you see it's gonna be right next to the stairs on the left.
Thank you. And he quickly runs to the bathroom and out of character. I need to use the restroom.
I see you as a rogue use your bonus action dash to
Yes.
immediately get to bathroom.
Just like you hear, and the door slams quickly, and I'll BRB.
Alright.
See, if she'd been a thief instead of a go to the bathroom. I'm just making a joke.
Okay. On it.
But if she had been a thief instead of an arcane trickster, then she could have used the bathroom as a bonus action.
I don't think I think you could flush as a bonus action. I don't think you could actually do the act of using the bathroom as a bonus action. Because I don't think...
No, flushing would be an item interaction.
That's what
It's
I'm saying.
already-
You could flush as a bonus action, but I don't think you can do the whole going to the bathroom as an action.
Is using the toilet not using an item?
Well, here's the thing. When
Use
you use
go
the
to
toilet, it depends if you're doing number 1 or number 2. If you're peeing, I can understand that being used as a bonus action. But if you're pooping, that's not gonna be bonus action, buddy. That's your whole turn.
a good poop is also
Well, yeah, but
chemical
that's why-
warfare.
For a normal class, but for a thief, you could do it.
For the fastest shit
got,
class?
you've got fast hands.
Now, if you were hasted, maybe we could talk about it.
See, now we're getting into the real DM techniques. Where's the poop charts?
See, honestly, this is the shit I love about talking bullshit. It's like talking about mundane things, but saying like, okay, if we're talking about this mechanically.
Okay, real talk. I'm assuming that an herb that might help would be fairly common, and I'm proficient in a herbalism kit, so with a
Ooh,
little
you can't-
preparation, we could say a bonus action.
We
Right?
are in a new area. We're not used to the bacterial fauna in the water.
Oh,
We
you're
will
right.
probably get Montezuma's revenge.
I'm sorry, yeah, you all have to
All
make
could have it as a bonus action.
I'm sorry, guys. You all had to make Constitution saving throws as you all drink the food and water because you're not used to the bioteria and the biome. I'm so sorry, guys.
Dang it! I needed one more level to get proficiency in that.
If only, dude. If only. Now you're all gonna get fey tummy aches, but you have to be brave about it.
Dang it! I should have been using purify food and drink. I haven't prepared for this very purpose.
For this very purpose, right now.
I knew I should have taken that at level up.
But yeah, I was joking, Zeb. You don't have to.
If we had ended up camping out, I was gonna ritually cast purify
Which
food
would
and
be
drink on anything we
reasonable
needed,
and
but-
smart. But hopefully, because you rolled
Yes,
well,
but
you had a nice
fortunately-
place to actually sleep.
Mhm.
Because for you guys, like, yeah, rest-wise, you were probably magically teleported. You guys still probably have been up for almost a day.
Oh yeah, that's true.
Because, like, you know, I gave you that rest because, like, the book doesn't give you one for just, like, teleporting here. And it does ask you to level up, so it's like, alright, I'm gonna assume that's gonna count as a rest. Especially because it does go for, like, hey, when you guys get off the bridge, you'll have an immediate, like, interaction. And resting, like, in the swamps is not a very nice place to rest at low levels. So it's like, yeah. Otherwise, it implies, like, you guys have been up at least till 4 in the morning. Because of how the Witchlight Carnival works, from being 8 to 4.
all night long.
Yeah. So, if you want this to be more as like a flavor you guys actually fucking sleep, you know? You can.
Ivor,
Lurkus leaves in an hour.
Ivor re-enters and
I'm
says, "Did I hear the
I'm
word
very
sleep?"
nervous about this.
Well, I mean, if our little dragon buddy says it's okay.
I mean, I won't. I mean, if you want to accept this respite, it's fine as long as we, you know. In fact, we may be able to get towards there maybe a little faster as we rest. Oh, you're heading somewhere? Sue asks you all.
Yeah, we're going to the mountain with the key in it.
Oh, yes, you're going
Gotta
to
go
Temley
meet
Hill.
the goblin.
Oh, you're going to meet Jingle Jangle?
John Schmidt.
No, it's only Jingle Jangle.
Mhm.
They get that surprisingly a lot around here. I don't understand why. Well, no, I do. But no, their name is much shorter. But, no, they're a delightful fellow. Though she does very much enjoy her keys. I heard she actually custom made that little, keyhole in the top of the hill. She's got I've seen her a few times.
It must be a really big key.
Well, she has a few really big keys. I've seen her show up here a few times. When some people ask to find a key and the like. She very much enjoys finding and collecting keys. It's said to be the only reason that she would leave the fine place. But she's very sweet. I know she's been up there for quite a while. But honestly, very nice person. Probably wouldn't cause you too much trouble.
Good to know everyone's somewhere welcoming.
And I know Temley himself is actually quite fond of them. They find it great company. He says as she's like finishing up the pie.
Goblin friend?
Hmm?
Oh, nothing. I said goblin friend?
Oh yes. No. Oh.
Friendly?
Yes, Temley. Temley Hill himself. Yes.
Friendly?
No, it's a very nice mountain he is. She says this as if this is normal. Ah. Anyway, she hands over like a little meat pie over to Chris. Here you go.
Question.
Yes.
Does she give Grizz utensils?
She asks, would you want a fork or do you just want to dig right
Grizz is already eating.
in? She's laughing with delight. Aww. Aw, reminds me of my younger days. Would any of you just like some food or perhaps maybe some drink?
Sure.
Yes, I could use refreshments. We've been on a long journey so far,
That's-
like without much rest.
Indeed.
Food and bath.
Let's see, what would you prefer? Can make some more pies like that. I've got a stew cooking. It will be a frog stew. It's one of the easiest things to find around here. I used to spice things up a little bit, being able to travel around a full circuit around Prismia, but ever since the mist showed up, the menu's been a lot more limited to more frogs and mostly seafoods.
Oh, I love seafood
Miss?
and protein.
All right. Well, I got
Grizz, mouthful of meat pie. Salmon?
Let me see.
Fish?
I had some trouble getting some salmon, or at least some healthy salmon. I've got more trout. It's
Fish.
fish, yes.
Catfish?
Mm-hmm.
It's been more of a whiter meat than salmon.
Grizz nods.
Alright, but I won't give you any till you finish your pie, young man.
Grizz continues eating his pie. There's very little chance that he does not consume the
I know,
the
but
entire-
she's doing like the whole like, I'm not giving you anything till you finish your first thing.
You don't get dessert.
Yeah, you
After
don't
you
get your
finish your meal.
seconds till you finish your firsts. So she gets out some stew for anyone who requests it. What kind of drinks would you all prefer? Like, are you more of a are you more for water? Are you more for a milk kind of person? Are you maybe one of alcoholic taste? Like, what are you vibing? What are you feeling?
I could dig on some dairy.
I see. I know cows can be a bit hard here. Have you ever tried pig's milk?
Goat's milk. But never pig, and I'm always up for trying something new. Nothing's
Alright.
more, important than curiosity and inquiry.
Well, don't worry, dear. It's purified, so there's nothing in it, except good old delicious well, it's not even really dairy per se. It's no lactose.
Oh, good. I know most folk have a lactose
They
intolerance.
do, yes. It's a serious problem that's unprescribed.
It's interesting how dairy, came to be such a popular, widespread thing, even when
You know,
we're mostly
grow-
not accustomed to it.
I once heard a tale growing up that it was of an ambitious man who tried to fight one of the first minotaurs and tried to, I don't know, get something out of it without killing it outright. And that is how they said milk was invented, for them giving them a drink that the minotaur would supposedly bless. And since then, that is why milk had traditionally come from cows.
Interesting. I've learned something new. Thank you for this.
Oh, no problem, dear. So, yeah, if you guys want to eat, drink, maybe even have some rest, you can.
Yeah, let's.
Bird, chat definitely comes in a little bit later to eating.
Mm-hmm.
Asking about baths because I don't imagine that mud gets out of feathers very well.
Oh, yes, dear. That would be on the second floor.
Okay, that
Be on the
is
second
the
floor. There'll
very
be a sign. There'll be a sign with one side has a little pixie, the other side has has an elf. We do it by size. So
Okay,
just
okay.
find whichever one works best for you, dear.
and he's gonna scurry away to get the mud off before eating anything.
Probably when you come on down and after you get, like, while you guys are enjoying your meal, probably after a nice bath from chat. Yeah, she just sort of asks, like, so where are you all from? I haven't seen any of you around here before, and I've been traveling a little bit of Hither for quite a while. So I get to see quite a few regulars.
Other side.
Other side? Are you referring to, perhaps, a prime material or, Earth, or I'm guessing what you would call home?
Well, home, work,
Something like that.
family, business, all mixed
Home's
up
where
into
the heart-
one.
Oh, well, I imagine it's been a long time since I've been there. After all, I was a younger girl when I was out there. How is it? How are things changed?
Don't ask me. I've been in the same place for 8 years.
Oh, really?
It moves all the time, but same place.
Oh, really? What did you work at?
I work at a circus. I'm a professional wrestler.
Really? That's
I
quite
flex.
That's quite exceptional. Are you others part of this traveling circus troupe?
Well, I was gonna join, but then they sent us here, so I don't know.
Oh, how peculiar. Were you a boy out on the run, going to join the circus?
Well, not alone.
Well, Fiverr was joining too.
Oh, I
I'm
see.
always supportive of his desires. What he wants in life is important to me.
I see. So you two are being very responsible. I appreciate that. Now, tell me, young man, I'm very curious. You seem to have a bit of spark of the wild there. Did you learn how to do any interesting tricks from Fiverr here, or have you learned elsewhere?
Well, I learned some stuff from the druid, and from Mom.
Oh, well. She like looks around as if this is like a big secret, and like looks at you and goes like, "Well, I'm a bit of a druid myself."
Grizz snaps too, and gives a like formal greeting to a superior druid, in druidic.
Oh. She like waves her hand back and forth and just like in druidic back goes like, "Oh, calm child, no need for formalities."
I'm sorry,
No,
I've only ever
don't
met
be.
one other druid.
No, don't be. It's fine. Don't worry, I'm just looking up stat blocks. Don't worry. That's not anything for
Understand.
threatening. This is more just seeing like what can this druid do
Right.
to see how to amaze you.
Mm-hmm.
And you said mother was, and I wonder, you seem to have a bit of a wild look. Were you raised by Mother Nature herself in a way, or?
My earliest memories are living with the bears in the
How
forest.
delightful. I know this was much after, when I was a bit older than you were. I actually grew up with quite a few ferrets. They're very cute, but not the most friendly of folks, I'll tell you that. So you get to learn quite a bit for yourself there.
Sometimes.
Grizz nods.
Well then. Would you like to know anything about this land you walk upon? After all, I imagine it's very unfamiliar to most of you.
Mm-hmm.
I would love to know everything.
This
I can.
this place is a lot different than anywhere I've ever been.
Oh, I
Right.
imagine.
A lot
I
less
know-
trees, a lot more water.
Yes, no. It's called a swamp, dear. I know when I was growing up, I often heard tales of this Feywild, is what many people call this general realm, saying that it is a reflection of what home is. But over the last, who knows really, time is a bit weird here. It just sort of seems like a consistent sense of now ever since the swamp happened. But there was a point where the local hag of frogs had taken over and the lands have flooded and grown muddy. It used to be a very wonderful grasslands. It's next to a forest and a beautiful mountainscape, but now I'm not sure what the other halves look like. And ever since these hags have come
The
and
other
shot...
halves?
Hmm?
The other halves?
Oh yes, no, those are the areas I can no longer go to on this fine inn. See, I believe now I've heard from many people, they go by Hither and Yon now. Used to all just be Prismere.
Hither
But,
and y'all?
Oh yes, over Yon.
What?
Hither, hither, tither, and yon.
Hither, thither, and yon, yes.
Yes.
But, yes, no. Let me oversee. Yes, but no, it wasn't always like this. There used to be a wonderful archfey known as, Zimbalin. Wait, Zimbalina? Let me look at pronunciations because this book gives them to me. Because I appreciate that, because other books, Man Mage, doesn't give those, and it's very confusing, but they give you a lot of drow names. Yeah. Zumbilna. Wonderful woman. Fantastic. You see, I know a lot of people have been talking about it nowadays, but there used to be a set of rules that were more enforced. Most of them are enforced, but since the hags have taken over, they don't really enforce the rule against thievery as much, unless if it involves themselves. But back in Zildina's time, if you were breaking the rules, she would just banish you out of here. Take you out. Maybe put a little bit of a... Maybe twist your tongue so you wouldn't be able to speak. Maybe bind your hands together for weeks on end. More trivial punishments compared to, say, turning someone into a frog or into a doll of sorts.
That does seem like
I mean, if they turn you into a frog, just turn back.
Oh, it's a bit harder when they turn you into a frog. After all, child, have you ever turned anyone else into a frog?
No.
I didn't think so. It's a lot easier when you know how to turn into a frog and turn back to a person. For you know how you turn into a frog. They do it in a way where you're not sure how they made you into a frog.
Oh,
It's very
that does
tricky.
sound tricky.
Yes. But if your will is strong enough, maybe you could avoid the frog turning, but... That's
Grizz considers, what if I turned into something else and then turned back into...
Oh, well. I don't know.
He begins to ponder.
Personally, I haven't tried it myself, but I have not been turned by these creatures to find out myself. And I hope I stay that way.
Oh yeah. I probably couldn't turn into a frog anyway, because it's got a swim speed.
Oh, you
have
haven't
to be like
learned
some
to swim
weird-
yet, do you?
No.
Oh, it's alright.
hard.
She, like, appraises you real quick. It'll happen soon, though. Shouldn't take too much longer for a growing boy like you.
One more level!
Oh, you're entering the 4th stage of druidism.
he's a grown boy and so smart. He's did nothing but amaze me since I met him.
Well, it's great to hear such news. If you'd like to rest for the night, by the time you wake up, we'll be at the base of Temley Hill.
Sounds good to me.
Thank you.
Yeah, thank you. I
Alright,
appreciate all your kindness.
no problem, dear. So, you all take a nice night to yourselves. Rather, if you want to do sleepover fashions, if you want to have your own space, I imagine some of you would want. Because you have a lot to process over the last several hours.
Yes. Mental health is
I do
important.
want to say, well, I'll say that if anyone wants to do any before bedtime RP, go right ahead. But I do have something to say, like before we all go to actual bed, or before all characters alternate.
I don't know how much role playing, but I know the last thing chat usually does before going to bed at night is continue writing to their mentor. So definitely before, like, as everything's winding down, chat in whatever room they're relaxing in. Spends the time like writing with a blue quill onto just scraps of paper, not really into a book of any kind.
What do they write to their mentor about?
They write about meeting people and making friends and struggling with what to do and where to go. But it's written very short because it looks like there's a lot of text on the page already.
So it's like
So
when you're like at the end of the page, you're like, I'm just gonna crunch all of it in.
Yeah, there's so much scrunched together, but it's just a shorthand of made friends, struggle with oath, miss you.
Aww.
And
All
just
right.
yeah.
Alright, so is there anything else before Grizz wants to do their little bit?
I would just be ready to pass out at this point. We've been through so much, and
Understandable.
give Grizz a lasting, like, words of like, we've been through a lot has happened, and I've been really proud how you've been handling it and how you're growing. I'm really happy to know you.
All right. Grizz like nods and says, "Thank you for everything, Fiverr."
Likewise.
And then Grizz is gonna go. Before Grizz goes to bed, he's going to shake 30 good berries out of his staff for tomorrow.
Uh-huh.
Using all of his remaining first level spell slots.
Alright.
I've
Well,
got
I do think you have to
I've set
roll
my
for
green.
the good berries. So roll 3d10 good berries.
Oh,
Yeah, it's a d10.
is that's a house roll?
Oh, I thought it was always a d10.
No, it's
Huh.
10 berries.
Up to 10, so you get to choose how many.
Oh
It
shit.
doesn't say to
I-
roll. There's the up to.
Huh. I always recall it being rolled.
No, it's just
Oh.
10 points of healing, but it's one action to eat one
Right.
berry, so it's an
Unless
out
you're a
of
thief
combat
rogue where you
heal.
can get 2!
Mm-hmm.
Yeah. Yeah. Okay.
I see.
Uh,
Okay.
so, all right. So consume. So I've created the green bar on my character sheet
For good berries.
for tracking good berries.
I see, I
um,
see.
And then as Fiverr gets ready for bed, Grizz wild shapes into a direwolf
Oh!
in order to be the good guard dog.
Oh!
Aw. Fiverr gives them
Um,
pets. And just a
Yes,
good, like,
and
the
Grizz will,
ruffling
like,
on the head, between the ears kind of thing.
And do you like just
Grizz
sleep on the
will,
floor? Like, I'm curious because I don't know if Grizz. How often has Grizz gone into an inn since meeting Fiverr?
I would say, like,
Well, they met at an inn.
Okay,
But-
they did.
yeah.
Okay.
Yeah.
And we mostly just travel aimlessly, mostly camping places in between those travels to just aid people and find new things. So
Right.
taverns probably are like 25% at least of those travels.
Okay. Because
So-
I did not know
I'm
how
not familiar.
familiar Grizz is with beds, and I didn't know if he preferred sleeping in a bed or on the ground.
I think Grizz will, like, assuming that the bed is large enough, he will, like, lie on the bed next to Fiverr.
For
if
you
that is
being a
too
dire
small-
wolf, which is a large creature.
Yeah, so assuming the bed is too small, he will sleep on the floor But probably sometime in the middle of the night when his wild shape wears
Aw.
off, he'll crawl into
Probably
bed.
just like crawl in.
Mm-hmm.
Aw,
Good doggo at the foot of the bed.
good dog
Keep
right
him
foot in the bed. How delightful.
Yeah.
So, yeah, night passes for you all. It's not really a rest for you all to regain resources, but it's more of a rest for you all to just relax a bit, to calm down. After probably
Short
sleeping
rest,
after the last, 20 hours. And by the time you wake up, breakfast is sort of ready for you. It's like a standard, some toasts, eggs, a little bit of bacon from the pig. It's a nice little, simple breakfast. But by the time breakfast is over,
I'm hungry.
you see out from the window the hill that you've been trying to go towards since you left the slanted tower. And the building sort of seems to shake a bit as it sort of lowers itself. And before you leave, Sue goes, "Alright, dears. I hope you all had a wonderful night. But I would like something in return. And it doesn't have to be big. I would just like a little trinket."
Let's see. What is Fiverr offers 4 rations, one for each of us. It says all this hospitality and food you've given to us. It only makes sense to offer food in return. I know it's not as good as the food you've given us, but
Oh.
it could help.
Alright, so you're giving a piece of rations for all of you, including Sir Talavir?
Oh yeah, 5. He ate too. Okay, so 5 rations.
Okay.
Handing over.
Alright. So you give up all those rations, and she is a bit shocked that you gave her, food that you would presumably use for traveling on your own, and goes, "Oh, well, what a very thoughtful gift. It'd be rude of me to refuse." She takes the rations at the
Grizz?
door.
Grizz adds to the pile the quartz stone that he found when they first arrived.
Ooh. That's what she was expecting when she, picks it up, thank you. But, she, takes it and goes, "I will say, Fiverr's gift does count as payment for all of you. Are you sure you want to let this go, dear?"
Yes.
Well, thank you very much, then. It'll be a very special rock, and I will treasure it. Alright. Well then, go off. Meet your jingle jangle. And with that, you all walk out the door and sort of look upon you, this tall hill leading up to this keyhole door. And I think that's going to be a good stopping point for the night.
I agree.
It's indicated by Kavion.
We got a
Yes.
mountain to climb. That's a lot to do it. 11:40. Woof.
Yeah, what did you guys think? I realized it was a lot of just here's a lot of exposition, and you travel around and you do things. But I hope you still enjoyed it.
I mean, it's very Alice in Wonderland.
Oh yeah.
Mm-hmm.
No, that's very much the vibe of this module in general.
I dig it. I love it.
That's the feel I'm getting.
Mm-hmm.
No, I will say.
I would like to ask,
Mhm.
what are the rules and explanations for long rests in this campaign?
That's a good question, and something I will have to think of, because the book definitely does not address points to give out long rests.
Okay.
So that's going to be a solution I have to find out.
Okay.
Because I
don't know. I spent all my first level spell slots on Goodberry because I assumed, okay,
Well,
we're getting a
that
long
rest.
rest.
Like
now,
that,
so
that
I'll
would
have
count
my
as
spell
a
slot.
long rest. So of course you can
Yeah.
get all that back.
But okay. All right. You said at the time not to, so I was like, oh, okay, I'll just count it as a short rest.
Oh, I said that just because like I know not a lot of you use spell slots or anything. Except for Zebediah using Counterfall.
Yeah, it was gonna be like turns to Zebediah.
But yeah, no, you could totally count that as long rest because you did sleep for essentially a night.
All right.
But yeah. No.
So. Yeah. Okay.
Yeah.
If you want to, I don't know. The rule I use in my campaigns in order to like allow travel to remain interesting instead of just everyone camps out and gets long rest was that the rule I use is that you have only sleeping for a night in a safe
place. Like honestly, you see the
rest.
landmarks here, like the big landmarks, like this hill, slanted tower, where that tree trunk is. Like any place that has like a name is places I would allow you guys to rest, with the exception of if you come across the end of the road inn.
Right.
Because of just how
makes
the
sense
water works, like how the high and low tides work. Because it would not be comfortable resting there unless you had like access to Liamon's tiny hut. Which, with however this module is designed, you should not have. Like, even if... Because there is a possibility you could start this campaign at level 3 if they're like, if you want to breeze through encounters, play it on easy mode, essentially. You could potentially be level 4 entering here. But you'd still not have that spell, so you couldn't just essentially camp anywhere.
I think it's been good balance for what we've been going at. This has been enough of a challenge to be interesting without overwhelming, but not so easy as to be boring.
Alright, that's good, because I had that sort of DM insecurity I've had a few times where I feel like, oh no, people are quiet, and I feel like I have to railroad, and I don't know if it's because players are just interested in what I have to say, or if it's like, oh no, they're not engaged, and I have to just keep them moving.
I will let you know to help quell your insecurities. This has been a delightful campaign, well role-played and balanced, and when I have those long moments of pause, it's because I'm thinking, and I process information a little slower than most. So if I'm not saying anything for a time, don't feel like it's because of you. It's just because I'm like, I really want to make sure what I say and do is what I want to say and do.
Because I can tell, like, sometimes when you guys are, like, thinking, but then sometimes, like, alright, I say thing as a character. Oh no, there's silence.
Would it help quell your anxiety for me to go,
Maybe, honestly. Unironically.
I can do that for you. I'm happy to do that for you.
Yeah, I kind of shut up a little bit near the end there because I got hit with wall of tired.
Understandable.
I am like trying to keep myself awake.
Honestly, the thinking sounds really do help. I have one of my players in my Saturday game. I used to play with them in person, and they're very expressive when they're thinking in terms of their like physicality. But now that we're playing online and I can't see them, and it's like, okay, it's your turn, and then it's silence.
Oh, yeah.
And I'm like,
yeah, because like I know.
Are you there? Are you thinking? Are you thinking, or are you
AFK?
Yeah. Because like I know. Yeah, I know for a lot of my
It's why when I'm playing, I tend to think through my turns out loud because it bothers me when I don't know what the player is thinking when they're thinking.
Right.
Yeah, yes. I'm more than happy to accommodate that and make my thinking time known.
Yeah, I know I know for a lot of like games and people I know in IRL, we've converted to just having face cam because like sometimes it's very interesting seeing like actual facial expressions, like
Yeah.
the real ass facial expressions, because like there are times like I know for UKB, if you saw my actual facial expressions for like Rosie, one, you'd see me smile a lot, and two, you'd see me like doing a lot of wiggles, like a lot more than you see in my model.
The model wiggles quite a bit.
Yes, it does, because I wiggle a lot.
I like the Wiggles.
Thank
The
you.
Wiggles are delightful.
I hear they're a very good band for the early 2000s. But yeah, I know.
Yummy, yummy.
You also, in some games, like you probably would have seen this if I did not have a VTuber model and just did normal face cam. For like stuff like the Willow stuff, you would probably see me being like, "What the fuck?" Like having minor like,
That somehow comes across anyway.
Yeah. No, it's okay. At least I'm not a character in that position, because you would actually. There are times when I play a character and it's like, "Hi, thank you everyone. Would you like to see me have a panic attack?" I'm playing like in one game I'm playing a necromancer wizard, and there's so many times where like, because we're high level and everything's like, I have to think of the consequences of our actions. Fuck, and like when we're planning things, like I have to consider everything. But yeah, enough of this faffing. This seems like after stream faffing. Let's see who
yes.
can raid. Looks like Yugi Evergreen is doing some art for their webcomic.
Yeah, I saw that
Ooh.
too.
Yeah.
That was intriguing.
I may have showed this before on these streams, but Yugi Evergreen's doing a pretty cool webcomic about a dad who becomes a magical girl, and that magical girl is apparently like his daughter's hero, and he tries to keep that like a cool little secret. And I haven't sat down and read it, but it seems really cute, and Yugi's a very great artist. I've seen him do a lot of art for VTubers that I often raid all the time. Like if you ever see me raid or in Elma Schwartz chat, they're the one who made the original art for that.
Nice.
Yeah.
Yeah, I'm same. I haven't sat down to read because, you know, brain teleportation magic combined with time constraints. But everything I've seen, especially with that comic, seems cute, silly, and delightful. And I support it all the way.
So.
I love the concept, hearing about it at least.
Yeah, no, it seems
Yeah.
really wholesome.
I love the concept.
Yeah. Alright, so we're going to be
Big
reading Yugi Evergreen, so thank you for anyone who stopped by, whether past, present, or future. I hope you have all had a nice day or evening and had something nice to look back on. And I wish you all a bye-bye.
A good bye-bye.
Adieu.
See ya.
We'll see you next time.
For me, I'm like, I'm not pressing the raid button till you all say your polite goodbyes.